The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
A manhunt took place over the weekend in Elba, taking 12 hours for authorities to finally capture a man who shot a gun at his boss. 39-year-old Julio Torres had just been fired from his job when he went to his vehicle and retrieved a gun, shooting several rounds and injuring one of the workers. Torres was fired from his job at Dorsey Trailers. Prattville police are asking for the public's help in finding a man wanted for using counterfeit money at a gas station. The counterfeit money was used at a Circle K in Prattville. The suspect was seen leaving in a red vehicle. I'm Andrea Tyson.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Need extra cash? Take 90 days to start paying it back. ASE Credit Union is here to help on your schedule. Whether you're tackling unexpected expenses, consolidating debt, or planning a big purchase, for a limited time, get an unsecured signature loan with no payments for 90 days. Use the funds however you need. Holiday shopping, vacations, medical expenses, or just peace of mind.
ASD Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASD.
Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
At AMS Studios, give the gift of self-care this season and get a little extra. When you purchase a gift certificate for $100 or more, receive a stocking stuffed with $60 worth of free spa gifts, or select a gift certificate for our $105 luxury facial, and you'll receive an additional $120 worth of medical-grade skin treatments added to it, absolutely free. Find us on Facebook or stop by in downtown Prattville at AMS Studios.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Come into the program here. We are looking at the beginning of the Christmas season. That's not enough music. Thank you. Looking at the beginning of the true Christmas season. Eddie was starting way too early, but he's out there busy. I think he's going to Operation Blue Santa or something Pest Pro Services to do, bring by a free toy, like a new one that you bought, give it up for free, and unwrap, and they'll get it to somebody in need. So he's doing that. George Carrico here in the studio with me today, and how I want to begin is kind of where I started off on Friday, but I had more time to collect my thoughts. And honestly, looking at the breakdown of the news cycle from what happened in Australia, the Hanukkah festival, the death toll keeps climbing, to more horrific, almost demonic details coming out of Rob Reiner and his wife, stabbed to death by their own 32-year-old son, Reiner's throat slashed, to Alabama native Ella Cook, killed in the Brown University shooting, and they still have not caught the guy. And I believe the second person has been identified who's been killed in that Brown shooting was a Uzbek national, but the guy apparently was like, he's like, they're great individuals all over the world from whatever background. And they said this kid was going to be a world-renowned doctor. He was just that good that early. So there's a lot. And so I begin today with the theme of rest. By the way, did you hear that Erika Kirk is going to sit down for a private meeting with Candace Owens today? And so Turning Point's big live stream they're going to do responding to Candace has been postponed while those two actually meet in person out of the public eye. Good. So then there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For whoever enters God's rest also ceases from his labors as God did from his. Let us therefore strive to enter that rest, that no one fall by the same sort of disobedience. It's Hebrews 4, 9 through 11. I, like so many others, saw the assassination of Charlie Kirk in high-resolution video the day it happened. And though I had been wrestling with my belief in God for many years, at that point, witnessing such abject evil that afternoon led me to pray as I had never prayed before, as though there was a two-edged sword on fire in my heart. In the weeks and months following Kirk's murder, I've found myself continuing to pray while reading the Bible, pierced by a zeal I have never known, and finding passages that keep thundering like lightning strikes in the mind. Anyone who reads this weekly column or listens to this show on Mondays now already knows, for better or for worse, depends on, I guess, your perspective, the fruit of my recent study, though there is much I still do not know and much I have still left undone. I'm filled with hope knowing I'm not alone in reacting this way to Kirk's assassination. I, like so many others in these restless days, have turned to Christ Jesus as our priest, our prophet, and our king. Greater than Melchizedek, greater than Moses, greater than David, or any priest, prophet, or king ever seen. Yet I also know there are those who have taken different paths in the aftermath of Kirk's martyrdom. Those who don't recognize his martyrdom in the first place. Those who thought Kirk had it coming. Those who uncharitably see Kirk as a symbol of hatred. And especially those who dove headlong, not into scripture, but into the online Tower of Babel, full of restless conspiracies and cocksure conjecture. Not believing the official story presented by the authorities after years of distrust, so many people have understandably come to view the circumstances of Kirk's assassination suspiciously, creating a feeding frenzy of alternative theories, sensationalist questioning, accusations, and intrigue, with lots and lots of money, as well as Kirk's legacy, at stake. As all this has unfolded over the last few months, I've attempted to ignore the noise with differing levels of success. Some days I still get sucked down some rabbit hole that, without fail, leaves me feeling frustrated, forlorn, angry, sad, lonely, or stressed, cortisol high and dopamine spent, a common curse of being too online. Only when reading scripture, with my phone off, do I ever truly feel at rest. Studying the Bible anew, I've often felt the word more living and active, more good, beautiful, and true than anything I might find on my social media feeds or some streaming platform. In fact, reading scripture has put the psychodrama and dehumanizing spectacle of online discourse, especially the restless noise surrounding Kirk, into stark perspective. Just as it ever was, so it remains today. Men are promised paradise, yet so many fall away. Too distracted by toil and trouble day after restless day. Serpentine questions whisper, only trust your suspicions, only to lead so many astray. As trust in nothing but suspicion gives pride permission to rebel day after restless day. Day after restless day, we have caught power lying one too many times. Day after restless day, we have responded by helplessly learning to trust our own powerless lies. Day after restless day, we have contended with currents full of babble and sin, while listening to fools play pretend that they can solidly sow the wind. Day after restless day, we vie for a trust now long lost, blindly pulling down gatekeepers without weighing the cost as we reap the whirlwind of our loss. We are too trusting of our suspicions, too swift in our accusations, too flippant and too proud in our judgments, and much too distracted and bewildered by the churn of the digital deluge to connect it to something real or enduring. In this way, we have failed to find rest, day after restless day. Yet I still pray we have not already hardened our hearts, that we have not already hardened our hearts, and that we may yet, through faithful obedience and the ceasing of our labors, enter into God's rest, bearing in mind that we all stand naked before God, the thoughts and intentions of our hearts laid bare. Indeed, is it not providential that the last thing Charlie Kirk ever wrote is about honoring God's rest? Kirk's new published book is called Stop in the Name of God: Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. Somehow, Kirk prefigured the perfect response to the restless noise still surrounding his own public death. And though I have yet to read his final message to the world, I suspect I've somehow already started to follow his advice before ever hearing it in his own words. After all, 3 months after the assassination of Kirk pierced my heart, I'm only now just getting to the letter to the Hebrews, which has so far taught me that to enter into God's rest means much more than just honoring the weekly Sabbath and turning off the noise. Though honoring the Sabbath weekly may very well soften our restless hearts to hear his voice and obey the living word of God. As it says in Hebrews 4:11 through 13, let us therefore strive to enter that rest, that no one fall by the same sort of disobedience. For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and spirit, of joints and marrow, and discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart. And before him no creature is hidden, but all are open and laid bare to the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Again, welcome into the program. And I write these things on Sunday. It's my form, I think, of rest and prayer. And man, I tell you what, I needed it after I went and worked out this morning and I look at the news. I had just shut off all the news and focused on reading scripture and thinking about it and pondering what I saw in the news last week. And so to give the rundown again, it's pretty astounding as I just read through the headlines. Again, Troy Carrico is here in the studio with me. How you doing today, Troy?
I'm outstanding. How are you, Joey?
I'm all right. All right. But, of course, Erika Kirk to meet privately today with Candace Owens, Turning Point Media event now put on hold just for now. Yeah. A lot of folks saying it's a trap, like sharing that meme from Star Wars, but we'll see. FBI claims they have stopped a New Year's Eve terror plot by radical leftist anti-capitalists, something like Turtle Island Gang or something like that.
Turtle Island Gang, is that what they call themselves? The Apple Dumpling Gang?
So Ella Cook is the first person who was identified as the student victim.
Yep.
I believe she's from Birmingham. I have clips here
Brook,
of people who knew her in the Mountain Brook area. Said she's just one of those people that it's sunshine all the time, smiles and consideration. And a lot of folks in the young Republican world saying she was a future leader and that she was clearly gunned down. The local authorities, based on an FBI tip, which we'll get into that, the local authorities now throwing the FBI under the bus. They arrested a guy, and that suspect has now been released. They got the wrong guy. And they still really don't have much video or any pictures of the guy who actually apparently drove from Wisconsin to Rhode Island, though I don't even know if that's true at this point.
Yeah.
The second guy is who's dead. ID'd as an Uzbek national. J.D. Vance just honoring him. Will Ainsworth going to X and on social media and giving a wonderful tribute to Ella. It's devastating.
It is.
Absolutely devastating. The Mountain Brook woman who was killed in the Brown University shooting was the vice president of the school's Republican club and was likely targeted, according to multiple sources. Ella Cook was one of two shot and killed on Saturday. She was studying with a group of students. We're devastated to learn of the loss of our Brown College Republican Vice President Ella Cook, the club's president, said, Ella was known for her bold, brave, and kind heart as she served her chapter and her fellow classmates. Our prayers are with her family, our Brown College Republicans, and the entirety of the campus as they heal from this tragedy. The founder of College Republicans of America, William Branson Donahue, said he believed Cook was targeted. He says, quote, I am filled with rage and sadness to learn that our Brown College Republican VP, Ella Cook, has been identified as one of the victims from the attack. I'm told she was allegedly targeted for her conservative beliefs, hunted and killed in cold blood. Losing Charlie Kirk 3 months ago rocked our worlds. The entire college Republican community is weeping this evening learning of the news. This was an attack on family. A broken-hearted former Brown University College Republican member, Alex Shea, or something like that, shared his experience with Cook, saying Alex, had firsthand experience of Cook's courageous acts as a conservative on a very liberal campus. Yeah. Saying, last spring, while I was under a disciplinary investigation for reporting on Brown's administration for the conservative student paper, almost nobody wanted to be associated with me. Ella was one of the few who were willing to stand with me in public and help hand out newspapers in front of the dining hall. Everyone at Brown knew Ella, regardless of their politics, found her to be friendly and kind. My thoughts are with Ella's family. Ella was a promising young leader taken too soon. Ella was known in conservative circles not only on campus but across the nation. Chinese American activist and author Xi Van Fleet released a statement on social media confirming he'd met Cook. Fleet said Cook left a lasting impression, and when Fleet heard the news of her death, he was shocked. We spoke about what it was like to be a conservative on campus, current events, and the history of communism, he said. Wow. Ella was a sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama. She was killed while attending a review session for an economics class. Man. And there are so many others. Like I said, Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth, Coach Tommy Tuberville, Senator Katie Britt, top officials from all over Alabama, lifting up Ella and her family in prayer. It really is something that weighs on your heart when you see it. And here we've got a clip. This is a local affiliate who interviewed some folks who knew Ella back in Mountain Brook. All right. And just hearing these young kids, you can see some of them are very young, share their memories of her. Sometimes it's the most just simple remembrance that can get you. Here it is.
We would just be so proud of her. Every time she would talk about Brown, all of us would just be like, she's going to Brown. I would tell customers, this is about to go to Brown. Like, she's about to be one of the greatest, greatest people ever.
God, it's just super fun to be around. I don't think that girl's had a bad day in her life. I mean, just always a smile on her face. Never a frown, never anything negative to say about anybody. Just special human. Only those that come around once in a lifetime. I can't imagine what her family must be feeling like.
Yeah, I can't either. It's just as a great song says, those kind of cars don't pass you every day.
That's right.
And that's not all. Again, there's a lot we can get into with Australia. They're now saying after so many of the cops were just cowards, and it took a guy named, and they caught it on video,
kicked him with the head.
Ahmed runs over and
his head.
and also jumps on his back, wrestles the rifle from him.
Woo! Stomps his head.
That guy is now in surgery fighting for his life, apparently.
Good
for Ahmed.
Good. Ahmed should have killed it.
But these guys were foreign, like on a visa. The father was
Pakistani nationals.
And they shot up a Hanukkah festival, which I saw an interview with a guy who was there as the shooting started saying it was mostly kids, like 16 and down to the age of 1 or 2.
It's ridiculous.
Hanukkah's for the children mostly.
When will we decide that enough is enough with Islam? I'm telling you, it just every time you get burnt. So
yeah, it's just
it's never going to change.
It really is heartbreaking. And then, of course, we could get into the details that continue to flow out. Hollywood director Rob Reiner,
that's strange,
and his wife found dead at home. Then you realize it wasn't like, some pact or something like drugs, or it was one of the most violent ways you could go out, and they were murdered by their own son.
Yeah, on his birthday. Strange.
Very strange. And there's also sorts of old clips from about 10 years ago, 9 years ago, of them sitting down for interviews, talking about how they had been estranged, but Rob loved all his folks. A lot of folks putting out tributes. Including folks who obviously didn't agree with his politics.
Sure.
If you're a 90s kid, you definitely know Rob Reiner is VHS king.
Yeah, he was.
So many great movies that he put together. Trump putting out a True Social post that even a lot of conservatives are going, whoa, man, huge hell. I've been saying, Trump's been fighting so long, he doesn't know what the F he's doing sometime.
You and I
He went on to say that it was possibly his Trump derangement syndrome that brought about all this anger or something. And then he told him to rest in peace. But it's like, man, like there's a certain moments where it's like not the
take the high
deal
road.
in the
Always
world.
take the high road. But that, and in many ways, you can't help but think he's tried that. And look what it got. Look what it yielded him.
Yeah.
Hatred and more persecution. So, man, just speak your mind, I guess, if you want.
So there's a lot of stuff we can get into, but I want to continue on with this story, given it's an Alabama who was taken from us.
Yep.
A good one.
Yeah, it sounded like she was going to be great.
So here first is a CNN report I wouldn't normally play, but it's a legal kind of crime reporter who goes on to say she's never seen anything like this in terms of the local jurisdiction, the local police, and how they are essentially throwing the FBI under the bus. So let's listen in to this.
I think it's kind to call it a manhunt right now, in the sense that manhunt generally means who you're looking for. If, at least from what we know publicly, they really only have the back shot, that we don't even know the identity, race, or visuals of the face of the person they're looking for. So as John was saying, you sort of have to do a regroup. That regroup is happening in two ways. One is take a step back and figure out where they're looking is the right place to look. He had to have slept somewhere. He had to get gas if he went on I-95. The second is the regroup of what we call the sort of incident command. And you saw that last night. I had never seen a local jurisdiction essentially throw the FBI under the bus, not just saying we're in charge, but saying, look, that lead that led us to the person of interest who ended up not being the person of interest essentially was run by the FBI. They said so explicitly. It's, I think.
Which is
I have zero confidence in the FBI.
You ain't the only one. There's a lot of folks.
They can persecute you if you're a student at some school board meeting. But
well, here is, I believe, the Attorney General of Rhode Island.
Yeah,
tiny place.
Yeah, it's very tiny.
Let's listen in to. Gummit, why does this keep messing up on me? I got to click more buttons now. Here it is. This is the Attorney General there in Rhode Island as they continue to search for the guy who actually did this, who killed these people in cold blood, who were sitting there studying. It's very clear because she had started to become known nationally. That group was becoming known as just I think there was a clear targeting going on.
Sure, there was. This is about anti-Christian and right. This is
Here's the Rhode Island Attorney General.
Middle America.
As far as the investigation, obviously finding the person responsible.
There's a ton of things that happen next. And so I don't want to get into all those things because obviously we have a murderer out there, frankly. And so we're not going to give away the game plan. But the fact of the matter is that law enforcement has the tools necessary to solve this case. But we're 36 hours out. So, it can never be too fast, particularly for the victims and their families and parents. But sometimes investigations take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's not as easy as having a photograph of the person that we could just give to you to help us find that person. But I know the team's going to work hard and we're going to solve it.
What happens next as far as the
And
investigation?
JD Vance, I'm just looking at it now, saying about less than an hour ago, it looks like the second victim in the Brown shooting has been identified, a brilliant young man who dreamed of being a surgeon. May God rest the soul of Muhammad Aziz Umar Zakov, Uzbek. Ever been to Uzbekistan?
Yes, I've been in Uzbekistan. It's a neat place. It's very beautiful. They play. That's where they play with the head of a goat. With the head of a goat, they play a game down there. And they drink milk, ox milk. It's an interesting place. Yeah,
yeah. It's like kind of where the Mongols used to reign.
It's where the east meets the west, and they're all horsemen. They're all horsemen, and it's a very cool place.
And it just, it's like, and this is like, as we get into all the stuff, which I agree with, and I've got a Charlie Kirk clip.
Yeah.
Talking to some folks in the UK saying, like, full on macro Islam is not compatible with the West. But Charlie was at pains, and I think everybody can make this point. Even Stephen Miller was making this point the other day. Look, there are great individuals, people from whatever place, that if you just take that one person and drop them into America, they're going to do much better in America than they would anywhere else. And yes, that's the story of this place in so many ways. But when you bring the entire town and the entire culture and like mass migration, that's when you start having problems. You're not talking about individuals at that point. You're talking about patterns of behavior that have created societies people are trying to leave.
If those good people that you're speaking of in Islam are silent while they're being hijacked by these militants, then guess what? I have to take care of the problem for them. And that's unfortunate. I told you the story of the mosque after 9/11, what happened in a very, very liberal mosque. They were cheering and they were dancing and they were happy. So
it's a shame.
They hate the West.
Well, and that brings us to, in a second, we'll hit a break. But again, this attack on a Hanukkah festival, I've seen the number climb up to,
what is it?
It was first 12, then 14, then 15. I think it's 16. It might continue to climb. Because when the first video I saw of it, the guys are just out there and wide open. They're not undercover. In fact, they're kind of at a point where it would be a pretty easy shot to take them out.
Shot. Yeah, they're exposed. They don't have cover or concealment.
And they're just at free reign.
You could have made that shot, Joey.
Well, and like the one guy, like what, he took like 4 or 5 shots with a bolt action, so he'd obviously know how to handle his weapon. But yeah, I'm like, where are the police? And then the video comes out of like police literally hiding behind cars.
Cowards.
Police trying to just direct people. It's like, where are the men with guns who are good guys to stop the bad men with guns killing children? And Australia's prime minister came out and responded and said they're going to try for even stricter gun laws.
That's a great idea.
That's the problem with this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Penalize your good law-abiding citizens. That's a great idea.
But apparently for 20 minutes, 20 minutes, the cops were frozen.
They were.
A lot of people on the ground who were trying to take action themselves saying, I don't understand why.
You know, in training, at least in special operations and in infantry, we're trained to run to gunfire. You run to the sound of gunfire so you can engage. These guys and gals were, Meanwhile, they're prosecuting the person that posted something on Facebook about being in America shooting a gun.
Yeah.
You tell me that it's not jacked up, bro.
No, and especially a lot of the Anglosphere, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand.
It's gone so left.
It's where they wanted to take this country.
They ain't going there. Ain't going to happen.
But yeah, I saw the video of this guy. Jewish man named Shmulik Scurry. So for 20 minutes, they shoot, change magazines, and just shoot. 20 minutes. There were 4 policemen there. Nobody give fire back. Nothing. Like they froze. I don't understand why. When he was asked whom the gunmen were targeting, he responded, everyone. Jews, men, old, kids, everyone. It doesn't matter. Went on to know that one of the gunmen from the top of the bridge was freely reloading a rifle. That's the video I saw.
I saw that too. I was like, wow, under no duress. So.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of people end up dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't until a good Samaritan, a local fruit seller,
not a cop,
disarmed one of the terrorists that police appeared to return fire. So it was this guy.
Sick.
Who essentially gave the police back their courage by taking matters into his own hands. And more is being learned about that guy. He's undergoing surgery right now. This is from the New York Post. The hero was shot as he tackled one of the Bondi Beach terrorists there in Australia, had told a relative he expected to be killed. It emerged Monday as supporters flooded a fundraiser to collect more than $1 million for him in one day. Ahmed El Ahmed, 43-year-old father of two from Syria, was seen in a heart-stopping video as he crept up and tackled one of the father-son terrorists who killed 15 people. It's now higher than that.
Yeah.
Just before rushing in, the hero told a cousin that he expected to pay the ultimate price. He said, "I'm going to die. Please see my family and tell them that I went down to save people's lives."
That's awesome.
Oh, I hope Ahmed survives, because I saw that video and I'm like, I could have taken the shot if I had a rifle ready to go, but I don't know if I would. I guess it depends when you're in the situation. Run up there and no, I know you would.
Yeah, well, there's different ways to. Here's the thing. Here's this cat was in survival mode.
Yeah.
This cat also was in maybe I can help mode because the police aren't helping mode.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what you can do. And he probably, I'd like to see the video of his movements to get to there. But he saw an opportunity, but they were, as you saw, they weren't practicing very good operational security.
No.
The father-son team.
No, he was able to run up on one of them, grab him by the back, and then
Slam
with
him.
one hand pull the rifle out of his other hand. It was actually like he disarmed him pretty well, but ended up shot for his trouble. And
he's a hero now.
Let's hope he survives to that hero's welcome.
He will be.
Man. It's so, like I begin the show with like trying to find rest, like honor the Sabbath and hope that we all find God's rest in the fullness of time. And then you turn on the news and you're like, dadgum, there is no rest. There is no peace in this
And
world.
we're in the Advent season too. So that's it's not a good start.
Well, and a big part of the Advent seasons, they started with the first week is waiting.
That's right,
Be
that's right.
patient, forbearance. And I'm like, how long do we have to wait?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Now we got to hit a break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. As I mentioned before, they're still doing their Operation Blue Santa. If you want to drop off a new unwrapped toy there, they will get to somebody in need for the Christmas holiday by Christmas Day. They'll get it out to folks, or maybe a little before. So just stop by. Again, brand new unwrapped toy if you're looking to help out folks there in the area. And of course, Pest Pro Services, they're really great at what they do in terms of pest control. Get on their monthly subscription model and you can control costs that way. And that starts with basic pest control services. You can add on top of that termite protection and inspections. You can add on that mosquito protection when the time is right. You don't do it every month, but you can throw it on when it is mosquito season. And of course, with the
Pest control, man.
like 29 degrees.
16 with wind chill, they're saying tonight.
Yeah, like my God.
The pest will be coming in.
Yeah, when I left to go
Vermin.
work out, I'm like, whoo, I need an extra sweatshirt. This is chilly out there. So the animals, those little critters are out there. So why not check out Pest Pro Services for their wildlife control service to either remove an animal that's already in the house or just prevent it in the first place.
Yeah.
Contact them today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or just call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in in Florida, and now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Hannah, did we just really open up our own real estate brokerage?
We sure did. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group is officially here.
So this isn't just another name in real estate?
Nope, it's still us, the same hardworking individuals. It's just us leveling up to give our clients the best service possible.
More experience, more energy, and more results.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, who you have on your sign matters. So give me, Hannah Grantham, a call at 334-368-6358.
Or Eddie Bader at 334-322-0662.
This is Lyle from Marguerite's here to let you know about our $99 Christmas special. Yes, it's 14 karat white or yellow gold. Yes, it's high quality diamonds. This year, it's a half carat diamond, total weight, stud earrings, lab grown diamonds, absolutely gorgeous for $99. They cost me more, but who cares? I want the business. I want you to be a customer Marguerite's. Half carat, lab grown, diamond stud earrings, $99. You take that, Mr. Walmart, and whoever else is out there.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electrical bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your local Roto-Rooter. The Tiers family extends best wishes to all those in the river region this holiday season. Don't let plumbing issues turn your celebrations into a lump of coal. Roto-Rooter is a phone call or a click away for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 272-7130, or online at rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter, Roto-Rooter.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After that incredibly cold start this morning, it's not going to warm up much today, even with sunshine. High temperature in the low to mid 40s at best. And another Arctic cold night ahead tonight, with mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 23 at dawn. A little recovery begins tomorrow with sunshine and a high temperature up to about 54. And how about 64 on Wednesday with more sun, and maybe teasing 70 degrees with scattered showers developing on Thursday. An incredible change in 1 week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And let's go to the phones, talk to David. Hey, David, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Good, David.
You know, by the fact that those police officers froze, and Joey, your co-host, I know, can attest to this, nothing takes the place of live fire repetitious training.
Yep.
I bet that these cops probably fired one clip in their life, and that was when they joined the force in their probably target shooting, and hadn't fired a single round since.
It's sad how quickly they have demasculined and basically disarmed Australia, who I would always consider the 51st state in terms of their lifestyle and what they do. And it's sad. It's absolutely sad. And, you know, I don't know, David, if you saw recently here, we talked, I think, earlier in last week on the individual that was over here in America from Australia shooting with some friends, and they found themselves under investigation back in Australia.
There's an old school term from a guy who used to host these airways. He's a legend, Don Markwell. So I'm quoting him. I'm not using the word, but I'm quoting him. Pussification. That's what we're dealing with here.
That's exactly what
sometimes literally.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. And, you know, it is so sad to see when police officers, you know, because if they haven't been exposed to repetitious live fire
you ain't
training,
kidding, brother. That's nothing.
They're going to hide just like anybody else would, even though they're armed, because they basically, it almost puts them in a state of shock, you know, actually having to confront somebody who is armed other than themselves.
Nothing can replicate live fire training and small unit training, and whether it be in mount kind of conditions with the police or anything. I'm certain they're not doing any of that. I bet if we deep dove into that, it would be a joke with their training regimen. So,
oh, absolutely, yeah. So anyway, and
good call.
Kudos to the guy who did charge that guy and disarm him. I told my wife, we saw that this morning. I said I would have dropped that guy right that second.
Me too. Hey, they weren't doing very good OPSEC, were they? They were up there just kind of freeloading and all that. But,
and Ahmed Ahmed is 43, and he's a Maronite Christian from Syria.
A Christian. That's what we need.
Yeah, exactly. With guts.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
So have a good one, guys.
Appreciate it, David.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, and it's just weird. You don't know people and stuff, but then you see stories like that, and you make God, please save Ahmed.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Ahmed's
if it is his time, it's his time. But
he's gonna be all right.
Let that man be a hero here on earth for a little while.
He's traveling with the Legion. He'll be all right.
Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad, how you doing?
Good. You mentioned Maronites. That's fantastic because if I remember this correctly, used to be in Lebanon.
Yep.
The only person who could be president had to be a Maronite.
This is true. You're correct.
My tante, my friend's mother, who was passed, she was definitely a wonderful lady. She was Maronite, and she was from outside of Root in the country.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman. Love her. She is in heaven. But the Maronite, you know, look what's happening. You cannot be Christian anywhere. You got a bullseye on your back in this world. So what we need, being that we're talking about Hanukkah, we need some. We help me here, Troy. The Maccabees that fought back.
Okay, so Crawdad, I know where you're going with this, and I want you to go back to my 1819 News and read my article, Onward Christian Soldiers. Did you see that?
Not yet.
Okay, I want you to go back. It was 3 weeks ago, I believe. I'm going to look here. I make a call, Joey knows what I'm about to say, and you missed it. Then I want your opinion on it. I suggested that Christendom, not the church, I'm talking about the faithful and the flock, needs to put together a nonprofit quick response team to save the Christians in Nigeria, armed private military contracting group with a humanitarian mission to go fight Christians and fight for Christians and those that would persecute them throughout the Sahel and all the rest of the world. And that's exactly what I think we need. And I've gotten so many people writing me going, okay, where do I sign up at? But what are your thoughts on that? Putting together a private group for that?
I would be all for it because, like history, you have to learn and remember from history.
Yep.
When the Romans were trying to get Masada, that was the last storm for them on top of the plateau there. I look back even further. What broke down the Bronze Age was the network of trade.
Yep.
Was all hinged on two things, copper and tin, and the whole thing fell apart because of that.
True.
And we need to have more people who are willing to soldier up and push back, fight back.
You're a great American. Listen, I've had a lot of people writing on it, and I would urge you to go back. It's called Onward Christian Soldiers, and then call back and give me some thoughts on it. I think that would be great.
Thank you, sir.
You're awesome, Crawdad.
Appreciate it, Crawdad. In 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. You've been writing Tommy Tuberville speeches.
So let's make it very clear. The Afghan terrorists attacked these two shoulders because that is what Islam teaches. The Quran says to kill all infidels.
Yes.
That means all people who don't believe in Islam. So let's not mince words about this. Islamists want every single American, and especially Christians, Americans, they want them dead.
He's not lying.
Listen,
what about the Sufi mist? Well, let
I
them
don't
go.
hear
I
that
wish
Sufi.
everybody was.
Let them burn. That's what they do. Fire.
Ah, goodness.
Break out the sword. So we talked about this last week.
Yeah, no, but I was just wondering, you writing his speeches.
I have been. No, I have not. No, listen, I think Brian said that he likes. I go, let me get this right. I can't say these things in 1819, but Tommy can. And he goes, yeah, of course you can. I said, okay, then you should be a little more lenient on what I got to say too. So they've been a little more lenient.
I think we got time for this break. This is Charlie Kirk. I don't think the audio video is perfectly matched, at least what I was looking this morning, but it's such a good point. I want to play it
Wilberforce
still. And yeah, I think Kirk is making a good generalized point while keeping his, say, Christian love for the dignity of every person made in the image and likeness of God. You can do both. You can do both.
If you do it right.
It was actually, I think, some of the secret sauce of Charlie Kirk, how he could, despite even like when he would get pretty feisty and in a debating mode, he could
walk
knew how
in
to
both
respect a
worlds.
person.
Yeah, and he did. He was very good at that.
Let's listen in. This is not that long ago in Great Britain on GB News.
The question is macro Islam compatible with Western values?
Macro.
Of course it's not. There are three major reasons why. Islam does not believe in freedom of speech. Islam does not believe in freedom of religion. And Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things are antithetical to the West. In a Muslim majority country, most Muslim majority countries, you cannot criticize the Prophet Muhammad. In most Muslim majority countries, you do not have the same robust freedom of religion protections. And finally, whereas we in the West are very careful to try to intermix religion and state, they are commanded to actually go into the state and try to change the state to be more Islamic around the core pillars of Islam. And the last thing I'll finally say is, I cannot see a single Western country that has become more Islamic and has become a better place to live that is happier or freer.
By what metric? Just happiness, quality?
Everything from quality of life, from cultural cohesion, from whether people want to live there, prior to the native-born fertility rates.
Again, people watching this will say is your criticism of the religion itself or not Muslim people? Because there are British Muslims who have been born here.
You don't have to caveat it all the time. I know you guys have to because you're British and all that. A culture ceases to exist when we don't have unified language. When you cannot talk to your neighbor. I'm not discounting that there are good individual Muslims. The question that we need to reckon with the West is Mohammedanism compatible with the teachings of Blackstone? Is it compatible with the legacy of Wilberforce?
All right.
And the great thinkers that have come from this country? And I will say, no, there's a reason why when you go to these Islamic countries that you're not going to see the equal protection of rights, that you do not believe in universal human equality, that you do not believe the same things that we believe in the West. And I think it's suicidal to import millions of them.
Yeah, and you know what, just on a passing point on that, it's most of the time, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even multicultural
Because there was an example there was a school a few months ago during Easter which cancelled Easter celebrations out of respect for other faiths. So it's not as if the word multicultural and multi-diverse doesn't include Christianity. No, and again, this is the red-green axis, and Britain is at the forefront of this. You have the Marxists that have infiltrated your government and the Islamists that are coming to your country. And when they combine together, they both agree on one thing. They have huge disagreements on a lot. They hate the West, and they want to see it broken.
Exactly right.
Pussification right there. That's pussification, bro.
Indeed. You're quoting Don Marquardt.
Well, I am. And I'm saying right there in his dictionary, there's his picture of it.
Yes. Yeah. We're just honoring the late, great
Don
Marquardt.
was right.
Now, let's listen in. This is because the Pope won't do it.
Of course not.
But Bishop Barron decided to just kind of put out a message today, given everything going on in the world. And by the way, to Tuberville's point, not only will they want to kill infidels who are Christians, they want to kill Jews too, as we are seeing.
They want to kill any non-believers.
And folks say, well, the war lasted so long. No, do you not remember after October 7th, weeks before Israel had done a thing in response, there were people out there, especially in Sydney, saying gas the Jews, saying all sorts of celebrating October 7th.
I remember.
And there were people like that in the UK and in this country. That's not religious tolerance. That's not a group of people that believe in freedom. And like that is insane.
It is a hateful ideology that seeks genocide and domination over other peoples.
So here's Bishop Barron's take today.
In Washington, D.C., I'm here for the Catholic University board meeting, but I'm standing inside of Ford's Theater, the site where Abraham Lincoln was shot. I've been a great kind of fan of Lincoln since I was a little kid. I've been to this place many times, and often when I come to DC, I like to visit here, but I'm here for kind of a special reason today in the wake of those horrible killings in Sydney, Australia, and the outbreak of violence, so much of it religiously motivated around the world, around our country. Just last week, I was with the Presidential Commission on Religious Liberty. We were meeting, and one of the members of that commission is Ryan Anderson, who's the director of the Ethics and Public Policy Center. And we were talking about this whole issue of religion, freedom, and the public space, et cetera. And he reminded us of a distinction Richard John Newhouse made. Remember Father Newhouse, former Lutheran pastor, became a Catholic priest, wrote a famous book called The Naked Public Square, in which he said, he kind of bemoaned the fact that religion's been excluded from the public conversation and sort of neutral secularism, was holding sway. But he reminded us that Newhouse didn't want what he called the sacred public square, which would be a place of, let's say, officially established religion, as if, the public square just becomes Christianized or Judaized or Islamicized or anything. As Americans, we don't want a formally and officially established religion. So not this naked public square where religion is excluded, we see that a lot, but not the sacred public square, rather the civil public square, by which he meant, I think, a place where all these different perspectives can express themselves, where we can have lively and respectful and non-violent debate, discussion, argument. Religion is not scolded and told to go away in privacy. That's the naked public square. Nor does any religion try to use the secular arm to establish itself. No, as Americans, we're against that. But what we want is the civil public square. And look at the First Amendment, which does indeed preclude the formal establishment of a religion, but at the same time insists upon the free exercise of religion.
Hear, hear.
It doesn't just mean privately worshiping, it means coming out in public and being able to make a religiously inspired argument. Well, as I'm standing here, and you can see right behind me the box where Lincoln was shot, in this infamous place of public violence. Can we all come together, everybody? I'm speaking to my fellow Americans now, I guess. Can we all come together in fostering this civil public space, not denuded of religion? That's the danger of an aggressive secularism, which is on the march today. Nor a sacred public square or establishment of religion. No, we don't want that either. We want the civil public square where religious people can come forward and have a real discussion, argument, nonviolent exchange of viewpoints. That's what we want. I mean, look, we're haunted by violence. As I stand in Ford's Theater, our history is haunted by violence. But we have got to do everything we can, both, I would say, as Americans and as religious people, to create the civil public square. God bless you.
And, I think that's in his own way, Charlie Kirk was doing that.
Yeah, I think he was too.
And that's the thing. If we're going to have that civil public square, where I would say the secular is subservient.
Yeah.
It is not the boss, which it's been acting like the boss for a while. We're not France, dadgummit.
Not yet.
You still need men, good men, to defend that civil public square, as he said.
Absolutely.
And I think there are a lot of folks for too many years now thought, no, we just pass a bunch of laws and we all kind of agree at our cocktail parties. This is what we should do. No violence will break out, right? Right? No, we're seeing
violence yet.
Seeing the rotten fruits born out. Anyway, we got to hit the top of the hour break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Federal agents say they have disrupted a major bombing plot targeting Los Angeles celebrations for New Year's Eve. 4 suspects are now in custody. They're charged with conspiracy and possession of destructive devices. A deadly discovery in Los Angeles where legendary filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michele have been found dead of apparent stab wounds. Police have launched a full homicide investigation, arresting the couple's son Nick on suspicion. Bail has been set at $4 million. Snow blanketing parts of New York, New Jersey, the metro areas there, and parts of New England, causing widespread flight delays and cancellations. Minnesota, meanwhile, seeing its coldest morning of the season today. Wall Street has been drifting in early trading ahead of economic data this week that could sway interest rates. Treasury yields have eased a bit. AI stocks remain volatile. Many believe they're overinflated. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. At Clark, they always offer 60 months free financing on Bryant, their highest SEER-rated system. But for a short time, they're offering 0% for 60 months on all brands. For all of your heating, air, and plumbing needs, better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. After that incredibly cold start this morning, it's not going to warm up much today, even with sunshine. High temperature in the low to mid 40s at best, and another Arctic cold night ahead tonight. With mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 23 at dawn. A little recovery begins tomorrow with sunshine and a high temperature up to about 54. And how about 64 on Wednesday with more sun, and maybe teasing 70 degrees with scattered showers developing on Thursday. An incredible change in 1 week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A person has been taken into custody following a Coosa River Parkway crash that killed one person and injured 2 others. The head-on collision happened around 5:30 Saturday afternoon near the Christmas on the Coosa celebration site, causing major traffic issues. The 2 injured were transported to Baptist South Hospital. No further details have been made available. Montgomery police have charged a man in a fatal pedestrian hit and run. 18-year-old Shelby McGee was struck and killed by a vehicle November 21st on East South Boulevard near Narrow Lane Road. The driver who hit McGee, 44-year-old Candace Owens, fled the scene. Owens has now been arrested and charged with felony hit and run and tampering with physical evidence. Open enrollment for Alabama's School Choice Educational Savings Account program begins today. Families may apply for the 2026-27 school year December 15th through March 31st, with award notifications scheduled to be announced on April 15th. Funding is up to $7,000 for private schools or $2,000 for homeschool. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Baranco with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today, sir?
Oh, having a great day. Just on the drive from Ham down to Montgomery. Had some meetings up here today, but headed back south. How about you?
I'm doing quite well, wearing my Santa playing guitar, funky Christmas sweater. Honestly, this thing's a little itchy. Daggum Chinese. But let's go into something you were right about, something that you were looking into after that trip to New York. You showed up here in the studio. We had a long discussion. Big announcement or news being made over the weekend by Elon Musk.
Yeah, so at the Southern Investment Forum, he discussed taking SpaceX public, which when we have been kind of developing this trend really in studio and on show with you about kind of the SpaceX play and the connectivity and humanity involved in all that with Elon, my anticipation was a revaluation. I did not expect the IPO announcement to be as recent as it was, but over the weekend, on stage, he did admit publicly that the goal is to go public in 2026 with a valuation estimate around 1.5 trillion. So that's a double from where it currently is today, and it's a 4 times return or price of equity than it was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago SpaceX was valued at $400 billion, and then 2 Fridays ago it revalued at $800 billion for a B series fundraising, and then now in preparation for the IPO they're targeting a $1.5 trillion market cap, which is wild. That we said it would be, so it's validating, but it happened a lot quicker than I thought. So it's exciting time to be thinking about space exploration. And if you go into detail in his interview and all the analysts that are breaking it down, it hit on that one question that I think you and Troy talked about last week, which is, it's great to need all these AI data centers, but where's the energy going to come from? Well, that's primarily what he talked about. The purpose for being in space is to have that energy outlet for being close to the sun, gathering solar, and the heat output is really mitigated in space. So things are heading in the direction that we expect right now.
Yeah, I think Elon put out a tweet this morning saying, all you nerds making your little fusion reactors on Earth, the biggest fusion reactor is the sun. It has more energy than the entire solar system. If you're just making one on Earth, admit that it's for your stupid science project, JFC.
That's funny. That's funny.
He called them little. He called fusion reactors little science experiments, and I'm just thinking this guy is on such a different level that nuclear fusion and fission are things that he thinks are little science experiments. He's just in a different world than the rest of us.
Yeah, and it's very cool to see. And man, that I saw interview with the head of NVIDIA saying, I wish we could have bought in more. Like everything this guy touches, it works out. He knows how to attract the talent.
And, NVIDIA's CEO was on stage with Elon saying that and automatically giving credibility to the infrastructure that's been built out in space. There's 6,000 satellites already in orbit that are in Elon's, Starlink ecosystem. And being able to add AI data centers in space is largely going to hinge on that ecosystem that's already built out. So you think about all the companies right now that are in the AI race. You've got Google, you've got X, NVIDIA, you name all the different AI providers that are out there. Well, they are all going to require energy at some point, and that energy infrastructure, they can build it themselves, but now we're talking about 20 years away, 15 if they're really good. They're not going to be able to supply all their energy. They're going to have to go through Elon's companies to get the energy they need. I think we're going to have, I'm trying to remember the source that I read this on, but we're going to need 4 times the amount of power that the current power grid on Earth generates to supply, the AI boom over the next decade. And the only place to go to get that is through Elon. So all these companies that are competitors will eventually be paying Elon for his energy in space, which is wild.
And all those rocket trips for their satellites if they want to compete. So he's got you in whatever way. It's amazing to watch. Before I let you go, let's tell folks about Invista Advisors.
Yeah, so Invista Advisors is a registered investment advisory firm. We specialize in wealth management based out of Montgomery, Alabama. And, although portfolio management is, kind of our largest and most professionally managed part of the business, we really do a lot of planning. So, if you're listening to the show and you've never had a professional financial plan built out, whether it's preparing for retirement or, preparing to put a kid through college or maybe get a vacation home or even your first home and you don't know what the finances of that will look like, come see us. We'll put a plan together. And then we'll kind of hold your hand as you achieve these life goals and help make sure that you're on the right track.
Folks, you can always learn more at InvistaAdvisors.com, or I say just start the conversation direct at 387-0094. And when you call them up at 387-0094, be sure to tell them you're at Austin Break on the radio with Joey Clark.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great week.
Have a good one. Appreciate it. Again, folks, it's Austin Brinker with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Since 1966, the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. With the end of the year approaching, many will decide whether to help those who are less fortunate. When you give to the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, you give Alabama's children the chance they deserve. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it the most. Join us in making a difference. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift Alabama's youth. And we're also looking for compassionate couples to join our mission as house parents. We provide housing, medical benefits, a 401k, paid vacation, and the chance to make a lasting difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. The Alabama Sheriff Youth Ranches reminds you it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Hey there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. Our partnership with Blue Water Broadcasting has reached thousands of listeners in the river region. People listen, people call. Now there's mortgage savings for us all.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. Now, a couple weeks ago, or at the beginning of last week, or maybe Friday, not last Friday, the one before that, we went over the new national security strategy of the United States of America. So you have you collected your thoughts. Your op-ed dropped Friday. And for folks who haven't read it, haven't heard about it, could we hear it right now?
Yes. Yes, we did that as a result of our discussion. I realized that we probably need to cover some of the basics simply because it's a revision in the way we're doing business. So it's retrenchment and realignment and realpolitik, the 3 R's of America's new national security policy. For half a century, Washington has played the noble fool, bleeding out in deserts among tribes that despise us, wiring billions to kleptocrats who lap behind our backs, and preaching the soulless gospel of compassionate conservatism, as if weakness dressed in moral language could substitute for strength. But the current administration signals an end to that folly. The new national security strategy is not a routine policy. It is a clarion call, a war cry, a declaration that America is done being the world's ATM chaperone and sacrificial offering. It is a retrenchment of national interests, realignment of foreign policy, and a pivot away from illusions shackling us for decades. This is realpolitik in action, Machiavellian in foundation, the cornerstone of the new Pax Americana. The strategy rests on 3 pillars: enforcing the Monroe Doctrine, pivoting from Europe and the Middle East to confront Beijing, and finally cleaning house by addressing migration and deportations. Together, they form a bedrock of unapologetic realism, a doctrine that declares America will defend itself without apology, crushing threats before they metastasize, whether state, non-state, cartel, or transnational movements. Enforcing the Monroe Doctrine, America's backyard belongs to America. The Monroe Doctrine was never a gentleman's suggestion. It was a warning shot to every empire that had designs on our hemisphere. For decades, we neglected it, actually giving away the Panama Canal, watching as China built ports in South America, while Russia pondered hypersonic weapons for Nicolas Maduro, and while Iran bankrolled chaos in the mosque in Caracas. Enforcing the Monroe Doctrine today means telling Beijing its Belt and Road projects are infiltration rather than development, and that they will be stopped. It means telling Moscow its flirtations with Cuba and Venezuela are provocations, and they will be crushed. It means reminding every strongman south of the Rio Grande that America is not a passive neighbor, but the dominant power of the hemisphere. Securing our backyard is not arrogance, it is necessary for survival. Without it, we cannot project power anywhere effectively. Pivot from Europe and the Middle East, confronting the dragon. For decades, our foreign policy has been a treadmill of futility. We've poured trillions into NATO while Europe freeloaded, sacrificed thousands of lives in Iraq and Afghanistan, and built infrastructure abroad while ours crumbled at home. Compassionate conservatism told us we could democratize deserts and tribal societies. Reality proved otherwise. The new strategy pivots toward the real adversary, China. Beijing is not a competitor. It is a near-peer adversary bent on replacing America as a global hegemon. Its navy grows by the month, its espionage penetrates our institutions, and its economy thrives on our weaknesses. The pivot means prioritizing the Indo-Pacific, strengthening alliances with Japan, Australia, Korea, and India, to name a few, and preparing for Taiwan as that flashpoint of the century. Europe's problems are Europe's to solve. The Middle East's tribal feuds are not worth another drop of American blood. This is not isolationism. Rather, it's prioritization. America cannot be everywhere, but it can be and must be where it matters most, confronting China with resolve and fire. Migration and immigration, cleaning house. Foreign policy begins at home. For decades, Our foreign policy, screwed that up. There we go. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'll find it right here. Okay, there we go. Where did I find it? Yeah. Foreign policy begins at home. For decades, immigration was treated as a humanitarian experiment rather than a national security imperative. The result, porous borders, mass migration, rampant crime, and millions living in violation of our laws. The new strategy's focus on migration is not cruelty, it is clarity. A nation that cannot control its borders is not a nation. Deportation is mandatory, not optional. Cleaning up America means restoring the rule of law, protecting its sovereignty, and ensuring that citizenship is not some cheap trinket handed out to anyone crossing the border or the Rio Grande. This is not xenophobia. This is true patriotism. Migration patterns must be managed with the same seriousness as military threats because they are national security threats. The chaos at the border is not compassion. It's a contrived conspiracy to encourage collapse. The return of realism in conclusion. This is not retreat. It is rebirth. America cast off costly illusions of nation building and charity masquerading as strategy. No longer the world's policeman, punching bag, or fool. Our republic reclaims its mantle, a sovereign power armed with doctrine, driven by destiny, and prepared to confront adversaries. The new national security strategy is not a timid policy. It is a battle guide on a clarion call, a pugilistic plan forged in fire. Borders will be secured, interests defended, and power wielded with precision. The age of drift is over. The arsenal of democracy stands ready. America marches forward, leaner, harder, sharper, and unstoppable, a veritable juggernaut of destiny.
Hear, hear. Again, if you want to read that yourself, the 3 R's is what it's called.
The 3 R's of our new national security policy.
And, you know, as I talk to like family members and stuff who don't cover politics in depth, they're like, what's Trump doing with Greenland, man? Why does he want Greenland so much? And I'm like, guys, like, you can't just out of ignorance be like, oh, what? How crazy is that? It's like, based on everything you just said, and if you're just paying attention to what the new strategy is, it makes perfect sense.
It fits into many factors of our national security policy, right? The Arctic is going to be a new flashpoint, and
missile defense,
and the resources there that are
right. And then you look at what's going on with Venezuela. It's like, oh, I thought we didn't vote for any new big wars, and I was feeling that way too. As you kind of watch it, you're like, oh no, this is much bigger than about even just drug boats.
This is about, I was talking about it earlier today on Scott Beeson's show. He asked what I think is going on. Here's what I think it is. And you know this, we've talked about it offline, is this is about shaping the Monroe Doctrine because we have a lot of foreign influence in that part of the world. And we're trying to get rid of the Chinese, the Iranians, and the Russians out of that area.
They've created these almost legal gray area, black market, where it's propping up Cuba, it's propping up Venezuela. It is propping up like a lot of different folks.
Cigarettes, man.
And can you think of like all the infrastructure around those illegal or gray markets where like if the United States Navy is now in the way of those arteries, like they can't operate.
So there's a huge amount of counterfeit cigarettes comes to North Korea, into Cuba and all that stuff. We're in the way of interdiction right now and can disrupt that. I think China's the one that we're really focusing on down there.
Makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And the Chinese have been happy to say, well, it's wide open and all this. And again, folks like, why did he make that big stink about the Panama Canal? It's like,
right.
Guys, why did J.D. Vance say that stuff to the Europeans at the Munich Security Conference? Guys, just pay attention. Why did he create this very unique peace deal that starts with the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza? Why is it tied to the hip with the Abraham Accord?
Yeah, absolutely.
Think it through. And they like to act like, because Trump does say a lot of crap.
He does.
And talk a lot of smack.
He does.
But that's just the noise. Listen for the signal. Gum.
It's right in front of you.
Will it all work out beautifully? Who knows? These are huge geopolitical events. The word is anarchy. That's true anarchy between nations. So you never quite know how it will exactly work out, but you lay down the best plans and you put yourself in the right position. And it's fascinating to watch too. You take the technological aspect of this. like we were just talking with Austin Branco there.
Yeah.
Like all those like 6,000 satellites that part
Sure.
of Starlink's constellation.
Sure.
I'm sure they're all just for peace, right?
None of them are used for any kinetic activities or any.
Well, you know, when
military,
Trump announced the Golden Dome, like I'm pretty sure a lot of what Elon's up to, along with, you know, some others here in Alabama, ULA does a few of these.
Yes, I do.
They are very much part of
They
that
are.
Golden Dome.
They're
And
part of that.
so many things that are now going to create new capabilities, whether it's did you see the underwater drones hitting
Yes,
Russian ships, the
I did.
Ukrainians?
Oh, man, I
Now,
have, yeah.
I saw the explosion. I'm like, this is a big explosion. It's a lot of water. I'm like, I wonder how much it actually damaged the thing, though.
Oh, well, below the
I guess
belt
it was
line, below
underwater.
the belt line.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. A lot of times with these torpedoes and underwater explosions, you create an air pocket underneath the ship and
Okay.
it cracks the hull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just shows like it is a new era.
No, it's pretty powerful
with the technology. It's a brand new era.
And some of them are hitting out as far as like Africa.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
not just in the Black Sea.
No. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Soldier Boy.
What's up?
You know, I just realized, you know how they continue to call Mr. Trump Hitler?
Yeah.
There are some similarities. I'm going to bring them up, okay?
Okay.
First of all, I think he's got himself spread out too thin. I mean, remember Hitler, he went into Africa, correct? That's why he brought Rommel down there. Then he went after on the east, he went after the Russians at the same times.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's looking around to rape and pillage all the gold and art and everything in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Then he starts crap with England. And then, of course, he starts a little crap with America. So he has himself pretty spread out instead of just focusing on one enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing Mr. Trump is doing. He's trying to put out so many fires right now. And he's one person, and he needs to focus maybe on 2 or 3 things only. Do you agree?
No. I don't think it's the same sort of being stretched out. I think the United States has to think in this way in a multipolar world and have this sort of retrenchment of what do we, I think Trump is realizing we were too spread out with the whole idea of the forward deployment over the world. We need to reconsider what we're doing in that regard. When you bring up Hitler being spread too much out, he was spread out. Number one, he was crazy, and you failed to mention his drug habits that were wearing him thin and talking about.
I'm aware of that.
And then, but like it was all like, in particular, like the last gasp was after they take over Ukraine. I believe they're desperate for oil and energy, and make a very dumb move as they go down that way.
Yep.
Yes, trying to fight multiple front wars. And, you know, there's a great book, Victor Davis Hanson's The Second World Wars, one of the main premises of it is people get all romantic about war. It's the Japanese or the Germans, or we got to be careful ourselves about that. But as soon as America entered the war, they're going to win. Why? Because of productive capacity and our ability to produce stuff. So I think we're Trump realizes we've been stretched in. I think what he's doing is actually trying to bring things back into more coherence.
I understand that. Did you watch 60 Minutes last night? It was really good.
I did not.
Because 60 Minutes is usually pretty swing liberal. It's pathetic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a talk with Germany, how they're ramping up their war machine again. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't see that.
Well, they were talking about the drones and everything they were buying and the technology and everything. And they were talking about China and everything. And now they're starting to spend, I forgot how many $1 trillion more of their gross national product money on war machine. And she said, well, isn't people in this world going to have had enough of World War I and II, you know? And he said, it's not about that. They're really worried about Putin.
Well, they need to be.
Yeah, no, and the Europeans should carry their own weight. And the most like geostrategically advantaged nation in Europe, in Western Europe, is Germany.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And also you look at like their capacity for all sorts of stuff. And yet they've played this whole like, well, and you know, I kind of get it why they've wanted to neuter themselves. But at this point, it's like, guys, you got to carry the weight here a lot more.
Well, they even said that last night, that they need to, and they're going to. He said the new chancellor, I guess, of Germany was very adamant about that. But then they were talking about drones, and they're going towards drones instead of all these big, you know, aircraft carrier and weaponry and everything, because he says it costs $1 million to shoot one drone down in a fighter jet. Okay, and how much does one drone cost?
Depends on what type you're doing, but it would be pennies on. It would be pennies and dimes.
Those underwater drones that just took out some Russian ships. They caught like not even a comparison.
The chief technical officer for the U.S. Army said you can make an effective attack drone for about $1,500. So
that's right. But it's funny too about on 60 Minutes last night. You're not going to talk about. They talked about taking Madagascar cockroaches, putting cameras on them, listening devices, and putting them into combat.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that.
Is that wild?
That is wild.
That's like a science fiction or something.
It is.
It is. It's like when you watch the Marvel.
Yeah. Somebody I was about to say grew up reading Ant-Man.
Right. Ant-Man.
But Madagascar, he says they're quiet. And they shown that they electronically, by stimulating the magnetic field, they can control them to turn right or left or stop.
That's interesting.
It was really wild. I was watching. Cool. I was like, my God! First we got drones, now we got roaches.
Hey, the air's not safe and the ground's not safe.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. But like you said, it costs so much. And then they show these little drones that would go into a jet fighter's intake and put it down.
I've seen those. Yeah.
There's like a swarm of 1,000 of them, and they're
It's
really cheap, like toys that you buy at Big Lots or something.
And then also saw which is great news. The U.S. military put out a video of countermeasures to drones and that are quite effective. These energy weapons.
There's a lot of different
things. That's exactly what 60 Minutes said. They interviewed one of the guys from the United States, and they're saying, about the countermeasures that they were talking about putting drones down.
Yeah, like directed electronic magnetic pulses.
You said, do you think we're not? He said, "You think we're not working on that already?"
We're up there, but we're still got a ways to go.
Are we behind in drones? I mean,
yeah, we are. We are.
Drone production.
We just now are starting to get a coherent national policy and defense Department of War policy.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Hegseth announced that we're getting rid of the cost plus model.
That's right. Yeah. That's what has to change, Soldier Boy, for anything to be successful in this new asymmetric, emerging battle space of technology-driven. Not incremental change, just exponential change, is a revamped acquisition process for our military.
Yep.
You cannot do it the way that
Hitler. What if Hitler had those the rockets they used against England, and they'd come off a skid, and they'd launch not the V2s that went straight up and
buzz bombs, I think they called them, or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I watched some videotapes of them, and man, the sounds are kind of creepy and scary.
Yeah,
man.
they make a weird noise.
Mm-hmm.
They make a real strange noise, and it's almost like we're progressing from that and stepped over.
Yeah.
Well, I got to run, Soldier Boy. Appreciate the calls. Always,
thank you, man.
This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to buy a home or looking to refinance that current home. Either way, maybe you're being shy about it or procrastinating or being hesitant. I'll wait till next year. No.
Get down there.
At least start the conversation. See, what they can do for you. It all starts if you're buying a home with pre-approval. You don't want to skip that step or you're setting yourself up for a lot of headache and heartbreak. Instead, get that pre-approval done, and then they will walk with you every step of the way, all the way to closing day to find that dream home of yours. And, of course, if you're looking to refinance to bring down monthly overhead costs, maybe reinvest in yourself or your family. Maybe you want to restructure debt, get that off your back.
You want to buy Bitcoin. You want to go all in. Go all in.
Yeah, you want to be a triple maxi and just remortgage the house, throw it all into Bitcoin.
That's right.
I'm not advising that. I'm not Michael Saylor, but whatever you want in terms of your goals, they can help you there. And of course, if you're a veteran, they specialize in helping with the VA home loan programs and made a lot of veterans happy when they thought, I didn't qualify and stuff. Nope, you do.
And not only that, the turnaround time's less than a month. That's fast.
Oh, yeah, I've heard someone the refis take like 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
It's pretty awesome.
They're rocking over there. Yeah.
So y'all check them out today. You can always start the conversation at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. Equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Between wrapping, decorating, and searching for those elusive scissors, you're spending a lot of time crawling around on your floors. Be honest. How's it looking down there? If it's not great, give your floors a glow up before the relatives show up during Prattville Carpet's holiday sale. With tile, luxury vinyl plank, and carpet starting at just $1.39 a square foot. That's less than the batteries you'll burn through on Christmas morning.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Deck your floors this holiday season. Shop PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors. Your ride to freedom starts here.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your local Roto-Rooter. The Tears family extends best wishes to all those in the river region this holiday season. Don't let plumbing issues turn your celebrations into a lump of coal. Roto-Rooter is a phone call or a click away for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 272-7130 or online at rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter, Roto-Rooter.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This holiday, make your home feel merry, bright, and beautifully furnished. Royal Furniture is celebrating the season with royal savings on living rooms, bedrooms, dining sets, and more. Right now, unwrapped doorbuster deals and fast delivery. Need credit? Get the Royal Credit for any credit situation. Whether you're hosting the whole family or gifting comfort to yourself, it's the Royal Furniture Holiday Savings Event going on now. Royal Furniture in Auburn, Prattville, and Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a street corner Santa.
Ho, 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 man.
I see you're raising money for charity.
Yeah, and when I get done, I'm going to go over to talk to David Ernest about my portfolio.
Well, of course you can go see him, but you can also call him.
I know, man. Toll free. 833-596-7233. And remember, those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
Indeed they do. And I understand there was some trouble over here last night.
Yeah, I kind of got thrown out of the cocktail lounge down on the corner.
What happened?
Well, I'd been out working. I was kind of tired. I wanted a little something to drink, you know, and I asked the bartender for a Santa's sleigh.
A Santa's sleigh? What exactly is a Santa's sleigh?
It doesn't matter what it is, man. It's just on the house.
You know you're getting cold, don't you?
Ring-a-ding-ding, man, and Merry Christmas.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After that incredibly cold start this morning, it's not going to warm up much today, even with sunshine. High temperature in the low to mid 40s at best. And another Arctic cold night ahead tonight. With mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 23 at dawn. A little recovery begins tomorrow with sunshine and a high temperature up to about 54. And how about 64 on Wednesday with more sun and maybe teasing 70 degrees with scattered showers developing on Thursday. An incredible change in 1 week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Let's go right to the phones here and talk to Papa B, who's been patient. Hey, Papa B.
Hey, guys. Boy, what a great analysis, Troy.
Oh, thank you.
Once again, you slammed it out of the park, bud.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
So, I'd like to try to make some distinction between communists and socialists. But to be honest with you, there's really no difference.
No.
Socialism to me is just communism that puts a beard on.
And to add to that real quick, throughout American history, all the commies that wanted to be cool and not be found out called themselves progressive. They're fellow traffickers.
Right.
A horse of a different color is still a horse. A horse by a different name is still a horse, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Smells the same too.
A lot of boo boo.
so this is not what is happening is not by happenstance.
Nope.
This is planned. They have played the long game with the West or in the West, and it's been going on for a very long time now. Creeping quietly up into the halls of power, a hold of the levers of power, and of course they're not going to give them up easily. Hopefully we can make them give it up, without using violence. So, but
there's nothing wrong with ass kicking violence if we need to deploy that.
If needed, if that's the only way, then that's the only way.
That's where I think what you just said right there, if I could just interrupt you for a minute, what you just said there captures the real chasm, the schism between how much longer is this going to go on till Joseph Smack gets up and says, you know what, enough of this crap. I'm going to go fix some stuff. And you're right. And we all are not, you don't want to, you're incentivized, Papa B, you've got your life. You don't want to disrupt it too much, but you also disagree with things going on. Where's that demarcation point for people? And that's really where we're at.
And here's, just a brief, overview of a few points of how it's going on here is that, basically the communists in getting a hold of places of power, not just in the government, but in media, of course, also in, the halls of religious organizations.
Yes.
Places that, really have the ability to sway public opinion, or if not, certainly control what is happening. And they've used what I call the 3-card Monty of the social justice left, which is basically, cast a dispersion on someone and make them defend it. And then when they, if they try to defend it, then they do it again and do it again and do it again until finally, they get a reaction, usually a violent reaction. And then they use that violent reaction as justification for all that they've done, and then justification for any further action that they might take, to further their cause. So, basically communism opens the door, and in comes the hammer, Islam. Islam is the army.
Yep.
Communism is, the communists don't sit there and, like, oh, well, what's going on? What's going on? Well, they know dang well what's going on.
Yeah, they do.
They invented this whole process, Klaus Schwab, George Soros, the rest of the globalist elite. They know what's going on because this is their plan, this is what's going on. And proof positive can be seen nowhere clearer than what's happening in Europe. It's exactly what's happened in Europe.
Yeah, Joey and I were talking about that at break. It's the Western world is just if it's not Islam, it's secularism that's falling in on it too. It's just bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's not the first time this has happened.
No.
Islam has had a great love affair with the Nazis.
Yep.
That's well documented.
Yeah, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. sorry. That's different Middle Easterners. Those are the good ones, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, right. So, my main point here: none of this is just by accident.
It's by spiritual design. And
there is spiritual warfare going on.
Yep.
There's a physical element to this too.
Yep.
Trump is doing just a jam up job and trying to roll some of these things back, but Boy, it's not easy.
You're right.
Go ahead. One of the things that happened that looks like might happen, though, that might help is the Supreme Court ruling upcoming.
Yeah, agreed.
About his ability to fire people.
Yep.
The left for a long time, have just taken for granted that they have this fourth branch of government. And I mean, there's nowhere it'll go. And the Republicans have done nothing about it. They just sat on their hands and done nothing. So hopefully, that'll give us enough breathing room for the next 3 years if he's able to go in there and just pell-mell fire folks to, maybe make some changes. Troy, what do you think about all
Well, as you'd say this, Joey and I were talking between breaks, which is always interesting. You never know what you're going to get. But one of the things that we opine is Trump. It goes back to this. Here's what I think about all this. I think that at the end of the day, so much damage has been wrought, Papa B, on this country for over a decade, right? I mean, many years. If we want to go back to the Department of Education, we go back to the 60s, right? And it just after the 50s, things went south. Okay, now we've got 50 years plus of damage wrought. Recently, this new transgender / freak aberration crap show that's been going on, trying to tell us that's normal, has really kind of perverted things to a point where it's going to take several years to de-louse this situation here and demine it. I believe that.
And I've come to believe, and thank you for working on me for so many years, Papa B, that our greatest weapons aren't carnal or martial even. It really is spiritual. It is power of prayer. And one thing I've discovered just in watching, more and more folks in the Christian space is the amount of people in Islamic countries who are raised Muslim who are having dreams explicitly seeing Christ.
Yes.
And in fact, they're often told, go meet this real person. It's like something out of the book of Acts.
It's amazing.
And so I would say y'all keep praying along with also, preparing ourselves. We have to do certain things, but
it's definitely, the best weapon that we have. And I would say this, Joey, the Papa B, Joey mind meld psyop is successful. My work here is done.
The mind meld.
Not your will, or my will, but his, sir. His.
That's funny, Papa B.
All right, guys. Y'all
have a good one, brother.
Appreciate it, Papa B.
That's good.
Yeah, and it really, stuff like that is what for some reason it blows my hair back, because you'll read like a story in the Bible of encounters with angels and dreams and stuff.
It's incredible.
You're like, that doesn't happen anymore. And then you hear like people who are in the worst circumstance. It's dangerous if you're in Turkey or Saudi Arabia or Egypt to not only just be a Christian, but to convert from Islam to that.
It's
very dangerous. And so even with those odds stacked against you, all that danger and risk stacked against you, these folks are still continuing and following through.
And as a good Catholic, and as a Lutheran, I believe in a lot of the things that we are taught, that visions and God speaks to us through dreams and things of that nature. And you're right. I mean, it's profound because it's not just one or two people. It's a broad swath of people from around the non-believing world that are having these visions.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Kevin Wayne.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing all right. I just tuned in a few minutes ago, so I don't know if you guys talked about this earlier or not, but I am a conservative. I voted for Trump the last couple of times. I think he's done amazing things, big things, closing down the border, what he's done with tariffs. I think he's already helping the economy. I've noticed gas in Prattville today, $2.50 a gallon. So he's done great things.
That's good.
But then he screws up and really pisses me off, because we all know about what happened with Rob Reiner last night and his wife. And allegedly brutally stabbed to death by his son, who obviously had many probably mental, emotional, and drug problems or whatever.
Yeah.
But you see what he put on Truth Social. It's just what Trump put on Truth Social today.
I did, and I didn't like it. I thought it was crass, to put it mildly. Well, and the way I summed it up, kind of commenting on a few folks somewhat defending him, is, sometimes Trump has been fighting so long, sometimes he doesn't know what the F he's doing.
That's right.
Like, I really thought it was kind of
Stabs at everybody.
To use his own language. Like, there are moments where I'm like, come on, man. Like, and we'll move on. And to your point, it's not like we want Mamala or anything now or some Democrat, but it's like, come on, dude. That one is, come on.
He does such great things, and he's probably one of the greatest presidents we've ever had. But then he does such he makes very unpresidential remarks, which gives liberals and his enemies more fodder. I mean, he doesn't need to be calling reporters piggy, and he doesn't need to be. These people they're people that are hurting because these liberal Hollywood, they were probably nice people, and they've been wrongfully murdered, and a horrible tragedy.
It's really awful.
Despite the political, it doesn't matter about it's almost like Charlie Kirk thing. The left said terrible, horrible, ugly things about Charlie Kirk's wife and his family, and they were suffering. And the same thing, not exactly the same thing, but they're suffering on the other side too. And he doesn't need to say any of that crap. He should just keep his mouth shut sometimes. And I don't like it. As much as I like Trump, I don't like that.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get that fight out of that dog. And I agree with you. When I saw today, and honestly, all my feed, at least my algorithm on X, a lot of folks who voted for Trump really didn't like it. I saw Jack Posobiec trying to say, but Reiner danced on Rush Limbaugh's grave when he died. I'm like, it's just, especially the nature of that demonic attack. It's just, it's a bit much, and I don't like it one bit.
Right. I agree.
Well, I appreciate the call, sir.
Thank you.
272-9228. Yeah, if I believe anything, it's, I have practical, I guess, political goals, things I'd like to see, but it's more about the personal dignity of people than it is about our politics at the end of the day. And I think if we have that in our heart, it'll make the politics a little bit easier.
What's it called? It's called in our faith, grace. Grace is one of the hardest things to acquire. And it'd be nice to see someone empowered.
But you're also thinking about the guy where after Erika Kirk forgives Tyler Robinson in front of God and everyone, Trump's like, I can't go there, Erika. I hate my enemies. Which in a way is a weird honesty that you can see the conversation there.
But Paul says you need to heap coals of hot love upon them. He's like, I'd rather take a hammer to them. Okay, that works. That works too.
Yeah. No, whenever somebody's like, don't use harsh language, you just go for the phrase like brood of vipers.
That's always a good one.
It's a pretty good one.
It's a safe bet.
Right. Yeah, you're the sons of the ones who killed the prophets. And you can, sometimes.
Brood of vipers.
The problem is false accusation, hasty accusation, just believing your own suspicion. And that's what gets us in
careless words
of trouble. Though I have yet to see, apparently Erika Kirk is to meet privately today with Candace Owens.
Really?
So Turning Point was about to do this huge stream where they're going to rebut a lot of what Candace is saying. I watched in full. We played it at the end of last week. Megyn Kelly finally speaking out.
I watched it with you. Yeah.
And I watched the more full thing when I got home. And Megyn Kelly's clearly talking about Candace, maybe a few other people. And without even cursing, she could have cursed and it would have worked just as well.
She does sometimes.
Where she's like, she made this point that, somebody who's not around the courtroom wouldn't necessarily understand maybe, and she didn't say her by name, but maybe Candace. Some of these folks you're attacking at Turning Point, and they're not talking, and they're being weird, and their response is just so weird. Why is it so weird? Maybe they're about to be called as witnesses, and they need to shut the F up so you don't ruin a trial.
She said, in no uncertain terms, they're not going to tailor their investigation for your desires.
I'm going to do that. And if there is a conspiracy, it's definitely a wider one, but there was clearly a community that knew this was going to happen before it happened.
Of course.
And some of them got all proud about it and started tweeting about it
we said
days before.
In my book, she's trash. Candace, I can't stand her. She reeks of pious falseness, man.
But we can still show grace.
No, that's your job. That's your job, Joey. My job is Joe. I am like Joab to David. I am your sword, your swift, terrible sword.
This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and that River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and that great team ready to help you with that roof of yours.
Yes.
Especially with weather like this. You don't want a hole in your roof.
No, not with this cold.
And also, it's this sort of weather that can take a little problem and make it a big problem. So you don't have a true tight water seal on that roof.
Now you
something
got
you can't see, and
you got expansion in the cold,
and now
you got a big hole,
bigger leak. Yes,
Yeah.
These sorts of things definitely happen just over time with wear and tear, or something could have happened with bad storms. You just weren't aware of it. What you need to do is get River Region Contracting out there to do an inspection, and you might as well do it on a regular basis.
It's free.
Inspections are always free, indeed. And their estimates say they do find a problem, they'll write up an estimate for free.
Yep.
It's always accurate. They show up on time. They don't leave a bunch of thumbtacks and screws and
like they did out here in
in
our place.
Gracious,
Where were they at?
We should have called River Region Contracting, but we don't own the building.
I know that's Hodges.
Yeah, but see, I'll check them out today because they can also help you go through the insurance claims process. Some of you are nervous. I don't know. Yeah, I've been paying for years. They're going to tell me I was negligent. And all. No.
They know what they're doing.
They'll walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. See, I'll check them out today. That number for River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
This is Lyle from Marguerite's here to let you know about our $99 Christmas special. Yes, it's 14 karat white or yellow gold. Yes, it's high quality diamonds. This year, it's a half carat diamond, total weight, stud earrings, lab grown diamonds, absolutely gorgeous for $99. They cost me more, but who cares? I want the business. I want you to be a customer Marguerite's. Half carat, lab grown, diamond stud earrings, $99. You take that, Mr. Walmart, and whoever else is out there.
This is Jennifer Pestricelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting, and we're powering up our sales team. If you're a go-getter who loves meeting people, closing deals, and helping local businesses win, this is your moment. You'll develop broadcast and digital advertising campaigns, prospect for new clients, and manage your own list of accounts, all in a fast-paced, creative environment. Outside sales experience is a huge plus. Media experience is even better. Ready to level up your career? Send me your resume today by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
I'm Lindsey Bonner from Action 8 Lace Up Sports. We're your home for the college football playoffs as the Alabama Crimson Tide prepares to take on Oklahoma. On Friday, December 19th, don't miss our Action 8 Lace Up Sports special, The Road to the Playoffs. Sports analyst John Longshore and I will have everything you need to know to get ready for the game. Watch Action 8, ABC 32, the CW Montgomery, or MeTV at 6:30 Friday night, December 19th. Then stick around for the game at 7 on ABC 32. It's complete coverage from Action 8.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen.
All right.
Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good.
Oh, good. Show's flying by today on a Monday. What's the score there today on a Monday at Cohen's?
today it feels like it's like 42-0.
Man, see, Eddie's not here, and she's really racking up the points.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've had a customer that's been looking at some speakers for a while. He came in, got his credit done. He's loading up some big golden ear towers.
Wow.
Got another couple that's looking at a really nice lift chair, all leather. It's got heat built into it, wireless charging for your phone.
Gosh.
And hopefully they get that in a washer and dryer to go with it. So, yeah, it's been a good day.
I love hearing that.
Yeah,
and,
it's real good.
just to remind folks, Cohen's is not going to be beat on price. They've already priced it out.
Yep.
And so it's not like you can go to some big box store and go get the cheaper deal.
Nope.
But the huge difference is the service including after the sale. And so if you are buying that big appliance or that big new TV or just electronics device, and maybe down the line you're like, oh, this little thing's happening with it, you can still call Cohen's. And they will happily take your call.
And Michael Jacks will come right to your needs, man.
That's right. I mean, that's the whole thing is giving service after the sale.
Brother.
Yeah,
it's the easy part is selling it. The hard part's getting it installed and then taking care of them after it.
So, folks, if you're looking for a big ticket item to get that Christmas shopping done, get by Cohen's today. You can always shop online at thinkcohens.com. But I say just stop by 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and Troy.
That's right. Yeah. Y'all come see us. Let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are. And Christmas is not far away.
No, it's
Come on in.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank y'all. Take care.
You too. Well, we got one more hour to go here.
Oh,
2
my.
in the can. So
That's pretty quick.
So we'll be right back, folks. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Shock in Brentwood. Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele, have been discovered dead with knife wounds. Authorities classified as a homicide, and the couple's son, Nick Reiner, has been arrested. He's being held on $4 million bail. A holiday terror attack averted, law enforcement thwarting a planned New Year's Eve bombing spree in Los Angeles. 4 suspects face federal charges as the FBI warns of ongoing security concerns. Brown University students remain on edge as the search continues for a shooter who was seen fleeing in all black. More than 400 officers are assisting in the investigation of the weekend shooting, left 2 people dead. Holiday weather impact, heavy snow snarling traffic in the Northeast with more than 1,000 flight delays. Arctic air chilling Minnesota as storms continue to pound the Pacific Northwest. This is SRN News.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After that incredibly cold start this morning, it's not going to warm up much today. Even with sunshine, high temperature in the low to mid 40s at best. and another Arctic cold night ahead tonight, with mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 23 at dawn. A little recovery begins tomorrow with sunshine and a high temperature up to about 54. And how about 64 on Wednesday with more sun, and maybe teasing 70 degrees with scattered showers developing on Thursday. An incredible change in 1 week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
State Senator Chris Elliott is weighing in on the sale of bonds that started last week by the Alabama Department of Transportation. Those bonds are to fund the West Alabama Corridor project. Elliott says he believes this is a very fiscally irresponsible move to make.
Legislators and the next governor, every road project that they want is going to be significantly hobbled. Their chances of getting it is going to be hobbled by the fact that we've spent all of this money and obligated all of this money in West Alabama. There's not enough money to go around because we weren't smart about how we financed this. And we've squandered all of the state's resources on one project as opposed to trying to lever it with federal money.
Elliott was speaking with Jeff Poore on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you. To have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A police pursuit occurred over the weekend in Calhoun County and ended in Cleburne County. The chase started out in Oxford when sheriff deputies were trying to execute an arrest warrant. The suspect first got involved in a carjacking and then started shooting his gun at police during that chase. Portions of Interstate 20 were shut down as part of this pursuit, and the suspect was taken into custody. A train derailment occurred in Calera this past Saturday, killing one person. That victim has been identified as 52-year-old Charles Harrison of Mountain Brook. The National Transportation Safety Board is now investigating the case. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
When it's time to replace an old window or door, you want expert craftsmanship and proven experience. You want Davis Door and Sash. Right now, take advantage of our limited time promotion. 10% off materials on new energy efficient doors and windows. Voted best in the River region for windows and installation in 2024 and 25. Davis Door and Sash would love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit davisdoorandsashalabama.com. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio.
Hold up. Read about this Turtle Liberation Front group. They all got very, very white, like just classy names, you know. Just don't know.
Yeah, this is something the FBI claims they've done, folks. They came out with today. I've got the clip of the press conference. Probably not worth our time.
Probably not.
But we might jump to it in a second. But they've claimed to have scuttled have foiled a New Year's Eve bomb attack. 4 individuals have been arrested who are anti-capitalist members of the quote-unquote Turtle Island Liberation Front.
Audrey Elaine Carroll, Dante Garfield, Zachary Aaron Page, and Tina Lai, L-A-I. Those are your 4 would-be terrorists.
Now, I'm just looking at 1819 News, and remember the name Joran Vandersloot?
Yes, I do.
Killed Natalie Holloway, clearly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He just apparently attempted suicide in a Peruvian prison, citing lack of physical contact with his family.
Yeah, well.
It might have more to do with,
demons
the
that
walls,
are the demons that are haunting your life. Yeah,
the walls closing in on you.
Yes, sir.
So
I
to
agree
speak,
with that.
which is a shame. But then also, you'll be given over to that if you entertain that stuff enough.
Yeah, they prey upon him.
The Montgomery City Council County Commission to vote on another $15 million package for Jackson Hospital.
Well,
let me click into that one, just put out by Caleb Taylor.
Let's do that.
The new spending would be in addition to previous spending packages approved for the financially ailing hospital, with the hope of the state matching the local spending. The city and county both voted locally $25 million total locally to help Jackson, hoping the state would match that. And I think the state has agreed to match that. Okay. Then there was an opportunity for the state to do maybe $15 million more if there was a local match of $15 million. So the city and county will be voting at their next meetings on December 16th whether or not to commit over the next 3 to 5 years to add $7.5 million over that time period. This is all from Montgomery County Commission Chairman Doug Singleton. He talked to 1819 News. That would give the state, city, county, locals up to $80 million. The goal was to try to get to $100 million. We're not going to quite get there, but Rick Jackson with Jackson Healthcare will hopefully make a decision on whether or not he wants to move forward in hopes that in the next 3 to 5 years, the feds, Katie Britt's office, Shamari Figures, they will be able to step in and help us some. They have not been able to help yet. That's kind of what the plan is going forward, and we're doing everything we can to provide quality health care in Montgomery County, and Jackson Hospital is a huge, huge piece of that. We're doing everything we can to keep it open, says Doug Singleton. So we'll see. Gina from Governor Ivey's office told 1819 News, the health and safety of citizens served by Jackson Hospital is of a paramount concern to Governor Ivey, but so is the responsible stewardship of taxpayers. You're not one to deny the return of the king, steward. Anyway, to this end,
supreme authority.
To this end, Governor Ivey has been engaged with local officials, federal partners, and Jackson Hospital stakeholders for months and continues to closely monitor. This is her spokesperson.
She hasn't been engaged in anything.
And continues to closely monitor all developments regarding the hospital's future. Okay. Governor Ivey expects local officials to engage further this week to support Jackson. She will respond with her commitment at the appropriate time.
You are a mouthpiece of this lie. Heresy.
I'm just quoting her.
She didn't even come out to the party and say hello, even drunkenly. She was sleeping and probably getting her bunions rubbed by some young intern upstairs.
Well, since it's Christmas, I just want to apologize to the entire, especially comm staff around the governor. I know y'all, I don't know y'all, but
don't worry.
I've learned in this business that there are a lot of comms folks who work for politicians, and the comms person's great.
They usually are.
It's just a job, man.
I know that, bro.
So anyway,
receive that with love. I don't care.
It still cracks me up, though. You're not wrong.
Heavy is the head that wears a crown, you power people.
You're not wrong. Oh, and now, again, I don't know if you're writing Tuberville speeches.
So what does he start? We're starting to
But of course, in recent months, Tommy Tuberville has introduced legislation working to limit the influence of Islam within the United States, while also warning of the dangers posed by the religion. The lawmaker has been particularly vocal about the need to fight a creation of an Islamic private academy in Hoover. As a result of his efforts, Tuberville has now been branded an anti-Muslim extremist by the Council on American Islamic Relations.
That is a compliment.
Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville is not only a bigot using George Wallace-era tactics against the American Muslim community.
Dogs on him.
I think George Wallace would have called you Mohammedan or whatever it is.
Making him eat bacon.
Yeah, he is also a coward. We are formally listing Senator Tuberville as an anti-Muslim extremist. This is the very first time we have ever designated a U.S. senator as an anti-Muslim bigot. He deserves it. And like George Wallace before him, Tuberville's bigotry will one day disappear into the trash can of history, God willing, added Care.
We're still talking about Wallace now.
Tuberville's response to CARE was a badge of honor.
Yes.
Tuberville wrote on X.
That's right, Tom.
I will never in all caps, stop fighting for Americans and our constitutional values.
And, you know, he could have said, too, he could have said that my first act as governor is that I will be introducing pork to all of your little children at your little Montessori schools.
Anyway,
sorry.
Like, it's just like CARE is a real piece of work. They put on the happy face.
Although, listen, they are one of the three pillars of Islam's influence here. It's that student unions and the mosque.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Just doing a quick rundown of all this stuff. Oh, man, Arkansas beat us to the punch.
What happened?
Arkansas becomes first state to drop PBS after Alabama votes to continue our affiliation with
Good job.
With PBS. Good job, guys. Yeah.
No, state-sponsored media?
Right. Well, we don't have the money to do our own programming, which was the option. It's like people aren't going to get rid of Alabama Public Television. Just stop putting on PBS's programming up and down
There
the
you
thing.
go.
Though Antique Roadshow still plays.
That is a pretty good one.
Yeah, I have to.
I like that. There's
Not
some
wrong. Nothing wrong
interesting
with
stuff
that.
in there, isn't there?
Nothing wrong with
I
Antique
like that show, actually.
Yeah. And you learn history, you
Right.
see a little barter going on, a little appraisal going on.
A little surprise and nice, but they had to know before it happened. And they're like, oh, really? It came from there?
And I never used to listen to NPR other than
I love
when
NPR.
I was in the car with my grandfather, the one you know.
Yes.
Because they would all the time when they were in Nebraska, my uncle Priest still listens to NPR. But what we would listen to wasn't some like necessarily liberal claptrap or gobbledygook. It was Click and Clack. You remember those guys?
The car guys. Yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah,
Shade Tree mechanic guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like there used to be stuff that kind of everybody who's just kind of interested in stuff, could listen to. And
do you remember their disclaimer? They go, our attorneys are Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe.
Yeah.
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Old school radio.
They were funny.
there.
They were funny. And you know what? Let me just sing NPR's praises for 1 minute. Take aside the politics. Listen to some of the human interest stories about, like, maybe there's a sawmill that's still operating. It's going out of business. The way they use the audio in their stories, it's like watching TV, but with your ears. I know that sounds weird. It's so, you hear the saw in the background. It's like you're right there.
Yeah,
You know
theater
what
of
I'm
the
saying?
mind.
It's very cool.
True
Very
theater
cool.
of
I
the
thought they
mind.
were good at that.
No, and there's still some old like Orson Welles programs that hold up
gosh,
pretty well. But now to this story that is just truly horrific.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele Singer Reiner, were killed by their son, Nick. According to multiple sources, I believe the guy has now been arrested.
Yes.
On Sunday, December 14th at about 3:30 p.m., the Los Angeles Fire Department was called to a home to provide medical aid. The LA Fire Department told People magazine, that's where I'm reading this from. Upon arrival, they found a man, 78, and a woman, 68, dead. Sources confirmed the victims are Rob and Michele. Police say Nick, who's 32, is alive and being questioned. He has, I think, at this point been arrested. But, of course, Rob Reiner, long before he kind of became the anti-Trump, like, guru on X or Twitter or whatever, is a director, producer, and actor whose career includes some of Hollywood's most beloved films. And if you're a 90s kid or even a Gen X or 80s kid, you're going to remember a lot of these. His directorial debut in 1984 was This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Then 86 came out with Stand By Me. 87, The Princess Bride. 89, When Harry Met Sally, which is apparently a lot of that dialogue was Rob and Michele.
Really?
Which makes it
really
tough to watch now when you see like the 1990s, underrated for how effective it is. It's a great meme still. Misery. Kathy Bates.
Gosh, that
and
one
James
that was
Caan.
frightening.
And then A Few Good Men in 1992.
Sure.
Which is, Sorkin somewhat jumped the shark. But young Sorkin, when he was at the height of his powers.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty damn good writer.
Pretty good writer. Yeah.
And it was it's often plays can fall off if you try to convert them to films, and they nailed it. And that one. But he first became famous for his role as Mike on the Norman Lear TV show All in the Family. You are a meathead. Rob was born in the Bronx in 1947. His father was legendary comedian Carl Reiner. Wow. I think Carl Reiner is one of the better ones I can remember.
So a good friend of ours, whom I've told you about, Mike Ritz. He was a retired colonel from the Air Force. He's Chuck, Colonel Holland's best friend, pretty much one of his best friends, and I'm very close with him. His dad they were the Ritz brothers. You ever heard of the Ritz brothers?
Yeah.
They were vaudeville. Okay. Well, he was best friends with Rob Reiner and with Steven Spielberg. And he said, who's the other one? There was another one. He went to Beverly Hills High School. So he was, Carl Reiner was very close to Harry Ritz, who was, he spent a lot of time with him and said they were incredible. He was an incredible man.
Rob and Michele met when Rob directed When Harry Met Sally. Man.
Yeah.
In a 2016 interview with People, Nick Reiner spoke about his years-long struggle with drug addiction, which began in his early teens and eventually left him living on the streets. He said he cycled in and out of rehab beginning around age 15. But as his addiction escalated, he drifted farther from home and spent significant stretches homeless in multiple states. Nick told People that that chaotic period of addiction included nights and sometimes weeks sleeping outside, and later became the basis for the semi-autobiographical film Being Charlie, which he co-wrote. Now I've been home for a really long time and I've sort of gotten acclimated back to being in LA and being around my family, he told People at the time. So that demon got back a hold of him again.
Yeah, sad.
It's just like you think of all the ways, and whatever you think of Reiner and his politics, especially in the last few years.
Yeah, that doesn't.
The man made such charming movies, and to see this is the way that guy goes out is just
throat slashed.
Yeah,
lying in a pool of your own blood.
And apparently, it was some heated argument with that son, and
on his birthday.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't like the gift together.
Apparently, Billy Crystal is seen walking near the Reiner scene.
Larry David, too, I saw. Yeah.
Man.
So Larry David came to the house.
Tim Robbins saying, my heart goes out to his family and the thousands of people in the film business that were lucky enough to work with him, witness his great talent, and be invited into his large, loving heart. This is a crushing loss. Really is sad. Like, I don't know how do you even make sense of this other than there's something
darkness,
spiritual and dark. And you can say it's drugs, and it's like, well, why the battle with the drugs? Is it just some like physiological thing?
Possibly. I don't know. My thoughts are that he lived a very
usually people are
not a normal
doing
life.
Hard drugs because they're haunted in some way.
Yeah, I'd say so.
No, it could be you were normal and the drugs just screw you up.
Maybe just like getting high.
Yeah. Maybe just started, I want to feel like I'm being hugged.
Where's my car?
By a warm blanket.
A warm blankie.
Yeah. Anyway, 272-9228.
Sad.
You want to get in on the conversation? It is sad. It's 334-272-9228. Now, I want to go back to this.
Yes.
To the Turtle Island.
Listen, so I got intel for you.
Front.
I got some intel for you about him. The term Turtle Island refers to the indigenous peoples of Northwest the Northwest and United States. Mm-hmm. That refers to the United States and the North American continent as Turtle Island, Mother Turtle.
Oh,
so there you go.
Turtles all the way down.
Turtles all the way down, Bubba. He saw Jesus play with in a flame of a lake of fire. Yeah, it's a great song. He spent 10 nights inside the lion's den too. Sturgill Simpson, he's a good dude.
I need to listen to more of him.
You would listen. His jam stuff, I think you would really like.
But here's the FBI, who everybody trusts them these days, right?
Oh yeah, you saw they were finding the gun. They were using their feet.
Well, here's the FBI saying they have foiled a big New Year's Eve terror.
Let's see
the four defendants are Audrey Carroll, 30 years old. The pictures, I think we have them somewhere. We'll put them up here. Audrey Carroll, 30 years old. Zachary Aaron Page, 32. Dante Gaffield, 24. And Tina Lay, 41. Each from the Los Angeles area. Each is charged with conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device in violation of Title 26, United States Code Section 5861D. We intend to file additional charges in the coming weeks as we finish reviewing the evidence. The defendants are all radical anti-government members of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, which according to their own social media is an anti-capitalist, anti-government movement that calls for their associates to rise up and fight back against capitalism. One of the leaders of the organization, defendant Audrey Carroll, helped organize an even more radical faction of the group called the Order of the Black Lotus. Each of the defendants charged today was also a member of the Order of the Black Lotus. Carroll described this group to her co-conspirators as everything radical. As detailed in the federal complaint, which we will now make public, in November 2025, defendant Carroll created a detailed bombing plot to use explosive devices to attack 5 or more locations across Southern California on this upcoming New Year's Eve. Carroll and her co-defendant, Zachary Page, led the effort to obtain and build the bombs and to recruit others to join in their plot. Carroll's bomb plot was explicit. It included a step-by-step instructions to build IEDs or improvised explosive devices and listed multiple targets across Orange County and Los Angeles. Carroll also made clear her desires. She said, quote, "What we are doing will be considered a terrorist act." Carroll and Page also discussed plans for follow-up attacks after their bombings, which included plans to target ICE agents and vehicles with pipe bombs. Carroll stated that those plans would, quote, "take some of them out and scare the rest." Throughout early December, the co-conspirators discussed their plans during an in-person meeting in Los Angeles and through an encrypted messaging application. As part of the plan, the 4 defendants plan to build test bombs in the Mojave Desert. You're going to hear more details about the bombs they intended to build and how the operation went down in the desert here shortly from the FBI assistant director in charge. In preparation for the plan, the co-conspirators purchased multiple pieces of bomb-making materials and discussed their travel plans to the desert. Last Friday, December 12th, the defendants took a significant step to carry out their plans. They traveled to the remote campsite, which you're going to see some video of, in the desert, and they began unloading their bomb-making materials to assemble and test the bombs. They had everything they needed to make an operational bomb at that location, and they were subsequently arrested by the FBI before they could build a functional explosive device. Shortly after the defendants were taken into custody, the FBI executed multiple search warrants, including at the defendants' Southern California residence and other locations throughout the country. I'll highlight some of the items found during those searches over the weekend. For example, in Carroll's residence, law enforcement found multiple posters and materials associated with Turtle Island Liberation Front, including posters stating, quote, "Death to America, long live Turtle Island and Palestine," and quote, "Death to ICE, Turtle Island Liberation Front." In Page's residence, law enforcement found a copy of the detailed bomb attack plan. This case is another reminder about the dangers that radicalized Antifa-like groups pose to public safety and the rule of law. Through the tireless work of our prosecutors in my office and our law enforcement partners, which you will hear from today, we disrupted this terror plot before buildings were demolished or innocent people were killed.
Well, good job, guys. Actually, thank you for stopping those freaks.
Yeah, those freaks.
As I was listening, though, it was reminding me of a Charles Bukowski poem. I'll share off air.
Okay.
I think the name of it, I'm not going to read straight
That's fine.
on air,
I listen,
but
yeah.
it's called "I Wanted to Overthrow the Government," but all it came down with was somebody's wife.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard that one. It's a good one.
It's a very good
We'll review it.
But yeah, good job, FBI. And you know, at some point, do we trust them? No,
They still haven't earned that.
Yeah, there's been too many years.
They were looking for a gun with their feet. Okay.
Yeah, earlier.
And they weren't doing a good job.
And
either.
I've been looking. I don't know is there any breaking news on the Brown University?
No, I'm just
shooting?
looking right
Have they
here.
found
I've
the
got
guy?
a feed on it. There's still nothing new up on it yet. They still haven't identified positively who he is.
Took out that beautiful, beautiful young girl,
That's
Mountain
terrible.
Brook native Ella
I know,
Cook,
man. Terrible.
as well as a young 18-year-old Uzbek national who was, I think, won like a Genius Award and was looking to be a surgeon. And they were just studying.
They're just studying.
And they still don't have the guy who walked in and shot them point blank. It's just awful.
It says here that they still have not, still haven't really named anything or anything yet. A man detained as a person of interest is set to be released last night because evidence no longer supported holding. I saw that. I saw that one. Yeah. Wow. They've canceled classes for the rest of the semester, which is not that big. I guess only about a week. So
crazy stuff. Anyway, let's hit a break early. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health.
Yep.
And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out if, well, you're not feeling like a
hands
fella.
are paused, man. Yeah.
Like you're not feeling like a man. Like you're just shot. It used to be you could like just power through. I mean, I remember being young. Yes. Like you just abuse yourself, so to speak, and like
you were immortal, man.
Like and just keep on trucking, go all day, all night, and now you're haunted by those memories. You feel tired and sluggish. You just don't feel like yourself. And a lot of y'all, especially in like your 50s and 60s, start going, "Wow, I'm just getting older." Nah. Low energy and performance issues aren't inevitable. They do have solutions that exist, especially there at Montgomery Men's Health. No guesswork, no generic gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. And beyond just testosterone treatment, they have ED treatments and many other options many men don't even know exist. Something to do with Botox, apparently.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've heard they're doing some cosmetic stuff. Yeah.
Interesting
Check
stuff.
it out.
But if you're having the symptoms of low testosterone, get by there, get a consultation done. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99.
That's incredible.
With results before you leave. Gentlemen, you only got one life. Procrastination will only make this worse. Just call them up today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book that appointment today. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Are you getting ready to put your home up for sale? Remember the 6 Ps. Prepare your home by deep cleaning, painting where needed, yard work, decluttering the inside. Present your home to the market through the experienced realtor who knows how to market the home and get it sold. Price the home at fair market value of what the home should bring in today's market. Your realtor can guide you in pricing the home to sell, not sit. Pay for part of the closing cost and provide a 1-year warranty. Buyers today don't have the down payment and all the cost of buying a home without some help. Prepare to look at offers from the marketplace and accept the best offer for your needs. And 6, place your trust in experienced professionals, including your realtor, closing attorney, and mortgage company. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. And remember, we are now hiring agents, both new and experienced. Call me today for an interview. Bo Goodson, 221-2883.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. At Adams Drugs, we offer a wide variety of services, including delivery, compounding, wellness clinics, and immunizations. Now is the time to visit any Adams Drugs location and get your flu shot. Getting an annual flu shot can help prevent you from getting the flu, reduce the severity of symptoms if you get the flu, and prevent serious complications such as hospitalization and death. Getting your flu shot at Adams Drugs protects you from getting sick, but it also makes sure that those around you, especially those at high risk, remain safe. Each year, up to 49 million people in the U.S. contract the flu. Depending on the flu virus's severity, deaths as a result of flu complications could skyrocket to 79,000 people nationwide. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for a location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What if this was someone in your family that had a chronic illness that they could not get away from?
Millions of Americans live with a disease that has no cure.
I was diagnosed with a rare form of sarcoma. The most immediate findings indicated that I should lose my leg, but it ended up taking 4 clinical trials and 25 years to get me to this point.
Cures are within reach if we invest in funding for life-saving medical research that's needed to find them.
Even if they're unsuccessful in my treatment, that they will have learned from my treatment that will be able to allow others to stand on my shoulders to be able to be helped.
Join the fight for cures. Tell your elected representatives to support American medical research. Visit unitedforcures.org/action to send a letter today. Paid for by United for Cures Action.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a street corner Santa.
Ho, 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 man.
I see you're raising money for charity.
Yeah, and when I get done, I'm going to go over and talk to David Ernest about my portfolio.
Well, of course you can go see him, but you can also call him.
I know, man. Toll free. 833-596-7233. And remember, those last 4 digits spell out the word SAFE.
Indeed they do. And I understand there was some trouble over here last night.
Yeah, I kind of got thrown out of the cocktail lounge down on the corner.
What happened?
Well, I'd been out working, and I was kind of tired. I wanted a little something to drink, and I asked the bartender for a Santa's sleigh.
A Santa's sleigh? What exactly is a Santa's sleigh?
It doesn't matter what it is, man. It's just on the house.
You know you're getting cold, don't you?
Ring-a-ding-ding, man, and Merry Christmas.
This is James Jones with Jones Drugs. We've got locations in Prattville, Millbrook, Greenville, and Montgomery, and soon to be Phoenix City. My dad told me once if I wanted the whole world to know anything, to tell my aunt. Well, I don't have my aunt here, but I've got the next best thing, Blue Water Broadcasting. They have helped us grow the Jones Drug family in this area for over 10 years. Thank you, Blue Water.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After that incredibly cold start this morning, it's not going to warm up much today, even with sunshine. High temperature in the low to mid 40s at best. And another Arctic cold night ahead tonight. With mostly clear skies, overnight low temperature down to about 23 at dawn. A little recovery begins tomorrow with sunshine and a high temperature up to about 54. And how about 64 on Wednesday with more sun and maybe teasing 70 degrees with scattered showers developing on Thursday. An incredible change in 1 week. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Brighten your holidays with ASE Credit Union. Enjoy the season stress-free with our special holiday loans. Visit us or call today to learn more. ASE Credit Union, your ASECU.com. 334-270-9011. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. And not everyone that Trump throws out there can be a hit. He does have his misses. I think that was a rare L, what he put out about Rob Reiner.
Yeah, that was
whatever. But never forget, he also has his hits. This was when Trump was being deposed, I believe, in that case. What's the crazy lady that won that settlement against
sheesh. Just saw her name today.
Anyway, we know who we're talking about.
She looked kooky.
And here's what this is a classic Trump moment during that deposition. And if you're watching, folks, you can see the pictures of the lawyer that's asking him these questions.
When you said in that video that Ms. Leeds would not be your first choice, you were referring to her physical looks, correct?
Just the overall. I look at her, I see her, I hear what she says, whatever. You wouldn't be a choice of mine either, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would not, under any circumstances, have any interest in you.
I'm honest when I say it. I would not have any interest.
Freaking love it, man. Listen, he just said she looked like a monster. She's like, yeah, I would definitely have no interest in you.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Well, and he pulled off another one.
God, he's so funny, man.
Last week, and Pamela's here. Hello, Pamela. How are
Hi.
you?
What's up, Pamela?
Good to see you.
That was funny.
And
was kooky.
this was, I think, the other day. Did you see that Trump had the 1980 Miracle on Ice team? And apparently 13 of the 20 on that team were Minnesotans.
Yeah, but that doesn't surprise me.
And so Trump has them there at the Oval Office, just congratulating them on that anniversary.
That was a good one.
And, well, let's listen into what Trump said. Oh, hold on. I've got to reshare it on the
He's
screen.
going to say, your state's jacked up.
Yeah.
He's going to say something about it. Not us, sir. We're God-fearing hockey players.
I think it's funnier than that.
Okay, let's see.
President Bill Baker. I'm from Minnesota. I know that right now that doesn't ring very well. Hopefully we can get that turned around.
Do we have Somalians in the any Somalians on the team? I don't think so. Ilyan, Omar.
The pride we felt in 1980 was incredible, and we are starting to feel that again thanks to your leadership. Thank you very much.
Well,
yes.
That's awesome.
Do you have any Somalians on the team?
Somalis.
Any at all? Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
It's a Wong Dong Ding Dong from Hota Heta. Watching on YouTube. Watching your show, Joey. Hello, Pamela. I saw co-host Joey Caraco on Scott Beeson show. Now, I wonder why he have no Puerto Rican Christmas ornament behind him. Merry Christmas.
I'm Italian. That's why.
Merry Christmas.
I'm Italian, not Italiano.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And a Happy New Year.
Anyway, 272-9228. Yeah, the FBI is still... They're still searching in Rhode Island, and like, how do you not find this person?
I got more badges than he does.
I think they did finally release a video. The local authorities did, catching a guy on one surveillance cam.
Yep.
But how do you have all those cameras all around Brown University and you don't see a thing about it? Absolutely,
I have no
crazy.
idea.
Absolutely crazy. Now, one thing
what's your Ranger? Listen, just what you watch these guys behind the president. Which one do you think the Ranger is? He's the one. He's the second one. Listen, he's so intense. He's watching everything. He's like,
I can see him.
Watch it. He's like, I'm going to launch on the next. Look, he's just like scanning the room. He's like, where's the next target at?
No, and also
that's a Ranger, dude.
It kind of reminds me of Forrest Gump. Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
So
I love you, Gump.
Watch him. Look at him. He's just like, seriously. It's like, okay, I'm ready to launch Hellfire missiles on somebody.
Yeah, Trump's in the Oval honoring the military for protecting.
That's really cool, man.
The border.
Good job, guys.
Oh, all right.
I was just watching him. I go, and I looked at his patch. I go, Ranger. I knew it.
Yeah, and there are many levels to Trumpster. In fact,
Yes.
JD Vance enjoys giving a little behind the scenes.
I like when he does it.
Peeks, and this one isn't funny. It wasn't the shoe comment.
That was funny,
which is very funny. Now this is more the I have the wrong clip here.
Okay,
1 second. This is JD. I can't remember exactly where this event is, but it's like some private event. Somebody must have filmed this on their phone. But it's kind of the behind the scenes, the moment when Trump and Vance first found out Charlie Kirk had been shot. So let's listen in, and we'll just listen to the vice president for yourself.
It was breaking up, and I looked at my phone as I always do between meetings, and all my signal chats and my text groups were lighting up with people that I was in a text chat with Charlie saying, Charlie, give us an update. What's going on, man? And that was kind of when I realized something was not right. And then, of course, I got the brief from my staff. I looked at social media. I realized what had happened. And I'll never forget the first 20 minutes or so. We were getting updates from Charlie's team. We actually thought things were going to go okay, or at least we had a glimmer of hope. You know, he got to the hospital. He had a heartbeat. He was still alive. And, of course, he didn't make it. And that was one of the toughest moments of my life. I remember walking to the Oval Office and talking to him. And, of course, you know, the president is a person who always has something to say. You know, he has that ability. And that was one of the few times where the president, I've ever seen him, the only time I would say, where I've seen the president stunned. And he just sat back in his chair and he was like, man, He fought very hard for us, didn't he? And he did. And that's one of the things that I want to take into 2026 is this sense of how many people have sacrificed for me, have sacrificed for the President of the United States, have sacrificed for all of us to be able to do the job that we do. Think
about it looks like a very young crowd. It might be like a young group. But yeah, and JD Vance, speaking of Turning Point, it was did the Oxford, Mississippi one. And I completely agree with him on this next take.
Okay. So here's something that I want conservatives. I want every conservative to remember. It's an important part of my entire political philosophy is we cannot be afraid to do something because the left might do it in the future. The left is already going to do it regardless of whether we do it. That is the takeaway of the last 40 years.
Amen. I've heard that song. Well, we're setting a dangerous precedent. They're already going to go
beating them to the
punch.
punch.
My God, man. Just people can't learn, haven't learned. Now, can I do one that's gross?
Yeah, like that. What do you want to do?
I almost feel like this is Johns Hopkins trolling people.
Oh, boy.
But it's a new study. Scientists are now saying that a certain practice could help guard against Alzheimer's. Researchers at Johns Hopkins Medicine have found that hydrogen sulfide, the rotten egg-smelling chemical compound expelled when one farts, could protect aging brain cells from cognitive decline and Alzheimer's, which is diagnosed in roughly 500,000 new patients each year in the U.S. Our new data firmly link aging, neurodegeneration, and cell signaling using hydrogen sulfide and other gaseous molecules within the cell, said an associate professor. So essentially, smell your own farts, and you'll hold off the brain rot and deterioration.
I could see it now. They're going to give people like gas masks, and they're going to be doing fart therapy.
Oh my gosh, absolutely not.
And then it'll be like, what if it doesn't work? Then you're just smelling the farts for free. I mean, you're paying them to smell the farts. It's not a good thing.
Now, they did this on mice by injecting the mice with the hydrogen sulfide carrying compound, which slowly releases the gas molecules throughout the body. After 12 weeks, the scientists tested the mice for changes in memory and motor function, and the results were shocking. The test revealed both cognitive and motor function improved by a staggering 50% compared to the mice that didn't get the farts. The rodents who received the hydrogen sulfide treatment were more physically active and displayed better memory. The results show that the behavioral outcomes of Alzheimer's disease could be reversed by introducing hydrogen sulfide, the research team. So, I mean, you got to think about it. That guy that always like hot boxes you on the road trip and thinks it's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. He's been doing it for your health.
Yeah. And he's actually,
trying to help you.
You ever heard of one of those folks having neurodegeneration issues? Like, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
You said,
those
but I'd
people
rather
who like
forget.
the smell of their own farts, they're actually just
maybe
their brain knows that it's good for them, and they've been just
you're being very beneficent by saying that. I mean, you really are going. Maybe they really know that they need to do that.
Girls don't fart though, so we're screwed.
That's right.
Well, but this is the shame that needs to change because previous research has shown that female flatulence actually has a significantly higher concentration of hydrogen sulfide than farts for men. Meaning women's gas tends to have a greater odor intensity than men's. Unfortunately, hydrogen sulfide levels decrease with age. So fart young and fart often, especially you ladies, you're saving your own brain. Sniff them.
No, girls don't fart.
I had a friend that said that one time we went to a rest area, and we were walking in, and it smells like a deluge of just crap.
Yeah,
I was like, ugh, and I'm breathing through my mouth because I don't want to smell it. He goes, dude, you're tasting that stuff. You're not smelling it. You're tasting it. And he started going,
yeah,
smell. And I was like, yeah, man, no, I'd rather I don't taste it.
Goodness gracious,
it was disgustingly realistic to me.
Yeah, no, and that's just like I don't know. My dad used to just do that prank on me where he, like I was a kid and I
Dutch oven you?
making sure I'm like going to sleep, and as he's leaving there,
drop a bomb on you.
Like, dadgummit. Well, he's looking out for my health.
He could have put
All
a Dutch
the-
oven on you and pulled a blanket
Oh, the
over your head
blankets and stuff,
farted in
yeah.
your face.
Terrible. Nobody's
Son,
ever
it's
done
good
that
for
to
you.
me.
You'll-
Thank goodness I'm a girl.
You'll thank me one day, son. Your brain cells will be better for it.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Dad.
One
Give
day,
another fart.
one day, all of this will be yours.
Yes, it's your kingdom.
Right. Everything the sun touches.
I fart in your general direction, he says.
272-9228. Yeah, that's just a great headline.
That's a great one.
Like the headline read,
Poop is always good to talk about.
sniffing your own farts could boost brain power and fend off Alzheimer's.
I've heard of crazier things.
Yeah, but I really do think they're just trolling people. It'd be disgusting.
But does John Hopkins really need to do that? I don't know.
Yeah,
They're
for
pretty popular,
funsies.
yeah.
Yeah, for funsies, they might just
They may
be
say,
doing
let's do
that.
something about farts.
272-9228. Again, if you want to get in on the conversation, you're trending, kind sir, over there at 1819 News, which is very
Who is?
cool. You are. Retrenchment,
Wow.
realignment, and realpolitik.
Well, thanks.
Cool.
And
I wonder how they determine that.
I think it's just a matter of clicks.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't refresh but every few times,
Right,
so it's not
right.
in real
Yeah,
time.
I don't even know.
But you
That's
have a
okay.
good network of support, I think.
Thank you. I
a lot of
with
people that like your stuff.
you. With people like you, yes, I do.
So how about this? Let's hit this final break. Hopefully we can get in touch with Ray Bowles on the other side.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
This is Lyle from Marguerite's. I want to tell you about our $99 Christmas special. Beautiful, gorgeous, lab-grown diamond earrings, a half-carat total weight, quarter-carat each. Those are big diamonds, only for $99. Your choice of 14-carat white or yellow gold. No one else offers in this country. You can search the internet all you want. You are not going to find that except at Marguerite's. We lose money, but we make great customers. We want to see you this Christmas. Come in at Marguerite's and shop our $99 Christmas special. Take that, Mrs. Target.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good. Y'all want to update on the project Ring doorbell?
Sure.
The one I have to sneak around back and
Yeah.
go measure, and I have to sneak around back and park in the neighbor's driveway and install. We're going to do it Friday.
Okay.
So the husband has convinced his wife for Christmas that he's painting her bedroom.
Oh.
But he didn't mention the carpet. So he's going to have it painted by Thursday, and she's working Friday, and we're going to sneak in there and replace all that carpet for her on Friday, and she's going to come home, and when she walks in the door, she's going to smell that new carpet and know something's up.
And for folks who didn't hear the initial part of the story, like they do want to keep it the husband does want to keep it a secret as a Christmas surprise, but she has the thing like if anybody goes by the Ring camera, it's going to alert her on her phone.
That's right.
So you got to be real
Sneaking out.
sneaky, find the blind spots to get in there and out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I like it.
Yeah, I felt like a thief. I was sneaking in the back door when nobody's home because he left the door unlocked. Then I have another customer that they're going to be gone Christmas week and calls and, hey, do you think you could replace, instead of go ahead and replace all our floors while I'm gone? I said, shoot, yeah. We put a lockbox on their door and we'll be in the next week while they're gone replacing all the floors. So don't forget, that's always a great option if you don't want to be around during that hassle of getting the floors replaced. Leave us the key and we'll make it happen.
So folks just need to call you up at 285-8117?
That's right. 285-8117 will come out, give you the free measurement, ask for Chad. He'll treat you right because he's sitting at the store on board today. And he'll come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down. Just that simple.
Really is that simple, folks. Again, that number 285-8117. And by the way, I was seeing some on like just online. Like if I was in the market, I'm not at the moment, but say I wanted a brand new kitchen floor right now, the place I'm at, it's ceramic tile. It works, looks great with the rest, but I'm seeing some of these epoxy floor jobs that get done. Man, you could do some really cool stuff, especially in a kitchen sunroom area.
In my garage, too.
I'll tell you, in the garage.
That's what I did. Yeah, they're great.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
Completely changes the garage.
Actually, there's been enough Roundup spilled on it. We might as
I'm
well
telling
turn
you,
it
I
something
did it. I
different.
did it in my place in Winchester, Virginia, and I'm going to tell you something. It was the best money. I had the non-slip kind, with that grit in it. It was so great. Shined like a glass, man. It was great.
Very cool.
I think you should
It
think
really
about having
is
that done at your place.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well,
And that would be for the wife to call because you do it for your husband.
exactly. He's going to love an epoxy floor.
I mean, really, truly, the wife could care less about the garage. Your husband would love it if you called about getting him an epoxy floor for his garage.
Again, that number is 285-8117. Be sure to tell him you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with that Joey fella.
Have a good day, guys. We'll see you. Bye.
See you,
Thanks,
buddy.
Ray. See, this is on line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Mike the mechanic.
Hey, Mike the mechanic. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I was just going to tell y'all, Ray's already off the phone, but as the owner of a Ring doorbell, you can disable it for the period of time it would take to sneak in and sneak out.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's much more fun to do a Mission Impossible
I was
style.
going to say it would take the fun out of it, though, right?
Right.
That's funny.
Okay, well, y'all have a good one. I enjoy the show, man.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so did we learn anything today, Troy?
The Turtle Island Liberation Front is a
Yeah.
very real group that I need to start tracking on my intelligence charts.
Yeah, man. No, and seriously, like so much of the stuff out there, I'm starting to get nervous because it's starting to add up. Like
Violence
how many
is used. Yeah.
Well, in particular, how many young conservative people are dying?
That's what I'm saying.
of it.
Violence by the left is real, and it needs to be met with superior firepower.
We got a lot of violence in this country. A lot of it can be, gang violence. And, Piers
be.
Morgan was going on in his snooty way. America has 12 times more the gun violence and stuff. It's like
Because we got 12 times more guns. We got 120.
how many
guns.
of the-
many more guns.
We got a lot more
actually.
guns than you do.
Well, and
Bubba.
by the way, you have, I think, a majority, if not more than just a mere majority of discharges are defensive.
Yep.
Number one, which is the whole point.
Right.
Number two, we count suicides in that grouping, which is a very different thing than
Yes, it is.
say somebody murdering somebody in cold blood.
And I would argue that what's left over, a lot of it is one demographic group up on another demographic group.
Well, yeah, and
that's sad. That's
especially
very
in
sad.
major cities, and you add to that gangs of all stripes, of all ethnic groups and races, and that's a lot of your numbers right
Yep,
there.
right there.
In fact, if you go to some of the quiet little middle America folks, you don't mess with them. And they're freak things that do happen. Don't get me wrong, but it's a very rare sort of freak event. Places that are well armed tend to be polite.
Like
places.
if you're hunting with Dick Cheney, you might accidentally shoot somebody in the back.
Still, no,
Don't
didn't
go
he shoot
hunting
him in
with
the
Dick.
face?
Don't go hunting with.
And then that guy had to apologize to him
did.
for getting in the way of his quail.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
it was only number 8 buckshot. Who cares? We used that as kids on each other. It's not a big deal. I have a 20 gauge.
Yeah, no, my father used to do the BB gun fights.
You were supposed to shoot me with that salt gun so I could see what it felt like.
Okay, I'll do that. Where is it here?
Over here.
Okay, you want to do it on the air, or do you want to?
Speaking of
Want
that, just reminded me of it.
That's kind of freaky.
I feel like this is just going
Do
to.
you like this?
Given the amount of tattoos you have, I feel like it's not
So
going to
she
sting
wants
at
to
all.
feel the sensation. I like the needle, that freaking pinching kind of thing's addictive, actually, isn't it? I think it is. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I had one right here, this one here, and it was no. Listen, it was
Like
excruciatingly
a hip bone.
wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The worst one I think is either on my shoulder,
Yeah.
on my shoulder blade, or over my kidney.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. The kidney was sensitive.
Sure.
And I've had the whole back of my leg done, and like behind the knee
That wasn't so bad.
wasn't as bad as the
Really?
kidney. Yeah.
So your shoulder was the worst, but back here on the flat part, or like your scapula, or where?
Yeah,
like,
like right on the shoulder blade.
Well, it's kind of thin. I mean, it could be thin.
Yeah,
so.
I don't have any. My brother got one on his chest, and then he got like a forearm. Like
Forearm is the easiest. You could have your forearm tattooed all day.
Yeah. You need to get one with maybe like a Care Bear, or maybe like a little My Precious Little Pony or something
My
like
Little
that.
Pony.
I'm joking.
What are you doing?
Do it, man. Put a flaming skull in there and say, "Death, speak English or die."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Sorry.
Sure. Sure.
Get you a Christian one, man. Get you a cross.
I might do something like that.
That's what my pastor friend did.
You know, like I've
Tattoos
always
are fun.
been waiting for like some big life event, and it just hadn't struck me yet.
I feel like if you haven't gotten one by now, you probably
You're
will.
not going to get one. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that assessment.
Are you scared of the study came out? It goes to the lymph nodes. I'm like, well, look at all the people that are tattooed and they're fine.
Yeah, look at us. We're fine.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with us.
I mean,
Other than
also
the
cannibals
trauma
don't like the taste of tattoos. So
Ooh, interesting.
Mhm.
That's one way to prevent.
Now, the craziest I think I've seen was David Lee Roth is like full bodied, and it was like traditional Japanese style.
That's strange.
Intense.
Crazy.
That's
Yes.
intense. Crap
Yes.
right
So
there.
I want to go to Israel, where they do it in the old quarter.
I
They
know.
still have the oldest tattoo parlor
I
in the
know
world
somebody
there
who has
since
been there.
since since the first Crusades.
Yes. A girl who's a client at AMS
Yeah.
has
Ain't that
got
cool?
a tattoo there
Yeah.
like 4 months ago.
It's called the Jerusalem.
Yes.
It's called the Jerusalem cross. I mean, that's where they specialize in that. But it's so cool. Family.
So cool.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have to take a trip to Israel.
There
Just
you
do
go.
it
Get
old
the
school.
passport.
style.
Get the passport.
Yeah.
Stop off in Estonia and Latvia on the way.
Yeah, I should.
Why not?
I should.
You're that far over
Get
there.
on Tinder over there.
They have like 18% more women in
Just take your
Lithuania,
rail. Just take your rail. Go up there. You can go everywhere. Go to Czechoslovakia. So
Honestly, I think
Prague's
it's going to be
fun.
way too
I want to
easy.
go to Prague.
Prague is incredible. It's probably one of the nice.
Like
most
seriously, I
beautiful
could probably
places
go to a
ever.
place like that, or even like the UK, where there's much of a language barrier, and just
They're
like
not English
I just
anymore.
need to talk, and then I think I'll
You
be
would
all
be
right.
disappointed in England.
Yeah.
Colonel Holland just came back. He goes, Troy, it was the most disgusting thing in the world. Pajeets are pooping in the street.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they are.
Oh.
God,
The Pajeets, man. The world's not your litter box, Pajeet.
G.I. Joe.
Now we know.
And on that note, we'll be back tomorrow. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.